Hello, hello.
I'm always afraid to just like jump in a voice chat with someone that's streaming and just be like, "Hi," in case I scare the life out of them because it's
I mean,
what?
that's half the fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Do you have streamer mode enabled?
I guess I do.
Oh, okay, so you just had your eye. Wow, you eagle eye on the voice channel. Where's LT?
Oops.
Oops.
Nah, I wouldn't be doing something like that.
Yeah, yeah. How
How
are
are you
you,
doing?
Shadow? Oh, you first. I
I'm
beat you
doing
to it.
pretty well. I've actually been sick this week, but I'm finally feeling mostly better. How about you?
Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better. No sickness allowed. I'm good. Yeah, it's a really busy month for me, just with working. So I'm really excited that we can be casting this set together.
I know I've been pumped for it all week.
Yeah, let's go. And you've casted some of the previous games as well. I had to admit to my stream, I'm like, guys, I'm a slacker. I planned to, but I didn't actually get around to getting in on any of the previous games of the Outback Legends. But here we are, sliding in for the grand
Well, you
final.
might as well. I actually managed to cast all of the main events so far, so I'm quite happy with that so far.
Oh, you're a beast.
I
You're
mean,
actually a
there were
beast.
sets worth casting though, honestly.
Yeah, I would say all of them, right?
Definitely.
Now, someone in my chat has mentioned, Salted mentioned this. I was going to mention this too. Are you using your normal mic?
Is it not right?
Yeah, it doesn't sound usual.
Give me 1 second. I'm using the same mic as always. I can try and like, what is there something specific wrong with it?
It just doesn't sound like your normal mic. Like it sounds quite echoey.
Echoey. Oh, I don't know how to fix that.
I think so. I don't know. I just don't want to, people, anybody watching a stream, if streamers audio or anything overlay or anything just doesn't sound right, please tell them.
Absolutely.
We don't know. We don't know. We never know.
1 second. And Meaty, thank you so much. It sounds. So it sounds wrong. Does it sound wrong? That's the important thing. And also, hey Sean, try and see if I can quickly fix this if it is an issue. Voice and video inputs. Make sure it's using this one.
Sounded fine in Shadow stream. Oh, weird.
Is
Oh,
it better now?
yeah, heaps better.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just realized what it might have been doing. It's using my webcam mic. Sometimes it just randomly goes between the two of them, like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
screw up today. But via
Nah,
stream, it
heaps
was
better.
using the other one. Sorry about that.
No, 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 not at all. Um, Alrighty, so I have, thank you, Jordan, been given access to their channel for the things happening. They say they're ready to start. Zain needs 2 minutes, about 5 minutes ago, so they're going to be starting with the map draft, and we can just kind of talk through it as it goes. But because you've casted all of the main event games so far, are there any maps that you've been seeing a lot, or some that you haven't seen much just yet?
So honestly, obviously we've been seeing a lot of Arabia, spoiler alert. But we have seen quite a bit of Golden Pit when it hasn't been banned, and a lot of Bypass. So I'd not be surprised to see
Ooh.
Bypass as one of the main maps here. Golden Pit,
Mm.
I don't know if either of these players will pick it as like a first option. I'd be more inclined to say Rayzor would be more likely to pick it.
Okay.
Zain, absolutely a beast on open maps though, from what I've seen. So
Okay.
he'll be pretty comfortable with any sort of open map. And Rayzor, from what I've seen, slightly more comfortable on close maps, but not bad on open maps either.
Yeah. Like, I just need to move my kitten. He keeps laying on the delete button. Always.
Just as
Oh.
soon as you're doing OBS stuff, the kitten's just like,
Yeah,
delete key.
seriously. Hallelujah. Oh no, I haven't even updated to version 27, so there's no undo option.
Oh
Um,
no, that would be a disaster.
Thankfully he hasn't deleted anything just yet. What's up, Nods? Hey Kiwi. Hello everybody.
Oh, it looks like they're ready to go.
Let's go. Alrighty.
Lots of ones in their chat at the moment. Zayn gonna
Okay,
be
so
banning slopes straight away. Actually, can have a quick peek in one of the old ones to see if slopes is banned there. I think it was.
mm,
Yeah, I'm saying this banned slopes this first time each time from the
okay.
looks of things.
So consistently doesn't want to play slopes. Rayzor banning cross. So cross, for anyone unfamiliar with the Hidden Cup 4 maps, it's basically kind of a better version of what is in the main game as Four Lakes.
Oh, that going straight out there with the better version.
I mean, like, it's the OG.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
just
do
bear with
think
me. I have
Zain
to.
is. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just have to use all my brain power for a second in updating my draft scene, so don't mind me if I'm a little quiet
Oh,
while I
no
do
problems. And Rayzor banning cross. I do think Zain would be the better hybrid map player out of the two of them as well. So I think this
Okay.
is a very strategic ban, although picking Cup
Hmm.
instead, very interesting.
Yeah, interesting to ban cross and then pick cup.
I mean, if it was Bay, I understand because Bay you can kind of play water very briefly and then avoid it altogether. But Cup, you end up playing water for quite the long game essentially, and whether that be through castles or lots of naval military. Zain is typing.
Halberdier Henry, I love the name, by the way. What's the difference between Four Lakes and Cross? Ball spawns, yes. I also believe there's different amounts of fish, but I can't remember which has more fish.
So Cross has less fish than Four Lakes, if I'm not mistaken, and there also are 4 small relics on the outside of Cross
That's
that you
right,
don't
yeah.
have. I mean, nobody ever really goes for the relics on Cross, or at least the
Sadly.
extra ones, but it can be pretty good. And Zain will be picking Bypass and High Tide, so I think High Tides, especially for Zain, will be quite favored towards him. Bypass, I think, because of Rayzor's pretty strong abilities on Bypass, I wouldn't be surprised to see it be a pretty close game. We have the shark himself typing. Build up the suspense.
Yeah. The shark himself. Not a Sith Lord. Hello, hello.
And don't forget, guys, they are currently fighting for a $1,000 prize for the winner.
Yeah, let's go. And do you know how much for second place?
Oh, I think it's 500. Do not quote me on that.
Okay, okay.
I think
I'm
it
just
makes
gonna
sense
mute
for it to
myself
be.
for a sec. Be
Yeah,
back.
no problems.
1 sec. Slam jam. Wait, did I actually mute? No. My button's not working, sorry.
Hello, Maz, Liam, Flightless. I am so excited for this. And Execept, good to see you all. And Desi, really happy to see you all here. I can't wait to see how these guys end up going for the best of 7 today. And we have Rayzor picking Bay and Mudflow. Bay... It's kind of surprised. I was thinking that Rayzor was going to pick Bay based on the fact that he banned Cross, but I'm surprised he's picking Bay and Cup, and Mudflow for that matter. But Mudflow is a bit of a shit-showy map, so it'll be quite entertaining to see how they go for it. Zain picking Quarry. Sorry.
What mud? Oh, Mudflow, yes. Yes. So it's kind of like a Bog Islands party in the middle with
Yeah. It's like
some
Bog
normality around the
Islands
side.
with it's like almost like the stressing parts of Bog Islands with the stressing parts of Water Nomad. Honestly, is the best way I can put it.
That is a great way of putting it. No, Monty is sound asleep curled up on my lap. Yeah, little boy.
All right, we have a draft. Oh, I'm so pumped.
I'm so pumped. All right, let's make it happen. Let me go to my scene. Finish putting in the maps. I really can't multitask. I'm sorry.
I know that feeling
Okay.
all too well. It's especially bad when I'm trying to watch a stream whilst also do something important. So for bans here, I'm just gonna go out on the limb and say Chinese are gonna be an absolute priority pick or ban here.
Mm.
Because of how strong they are on, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check which maps. It is on Mudflow, where they are super, super strong. And then I'm guessing Zain is going to be prioritizing the Turks pick for bypass. Otherwise, there's a lot of amazing civs. Cross might be a Lithuanians or a Japanese priority pick.
I feel like we've got to see Japanese somewhere in here, right? It's just
Especially with how many hybrids there are.
Yeah.
Are there any kind of
there we
civ picks
go.
you're expecting to see?
Oh, look, because I haven't seen either of them play before, I really am not too sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think, let me have a look at the maps again. I'd love to see Lithuanians on one of the hybrids, to be honest.
Absolutely.
They have
so
really strong water options, and on land, they're just amazing.
I think also for Quarry, Zain and Rayzor probably playing around with some of like the Britons, Vietnamese, the sort of 3TC fast ARB Imperial Age type civs. And they both have a really nice and rather frustrating to play against slow push.
Right, so Malay banned by Zain and Mayans banned by Rayzor. I think Malay is a pretty wise ban here, honestly.
I'm a little surprised. I don't think it's a
mind
bad
you, I don't
ban.
see it. I don't think it's a bad ban. I don't think you see it picked too often, but when it is picked, there's got to be a really clear strategy behind it. So I think that Zain might be afraid of that.
Zain
There's
prioritizing the Japanese, but I don't know if I like this, especially with Chinese still open. If I'm Rayzor here, I pick Chinese next.
Let's see. Let's go for the prediction. Don't scatter his Monty for you. And for your friend.
Monty.
Monty, he's so sleepy.
I mean, it's probably past his bedtime.
No, it's just before his party time. That's what's happening.
Yep, there we go. Rayzor with the Chinese. I think that's a mistake on Zane's end, honestly. Like, I mean, Malay, yes, they're sort of frustrating. I'm guessing that was banned for bypass, more specifically. But I would have preferred to see Zain prioritizing Chinese, at least in his ban or his first pick. Especially
so maybe he's realized... Sorry, maybe he's realized that he's gonna want Japanese instead of Rayzor getting it, and he's willing to deal with the strength of Chinese. And now Britons as well for Rayzor.
Oh, and that's definitely gonna be the quarry pick from Rayzor, so that's two of the best civs for those two maps that we're talking about here. Japanese obviously one of the best for most hybrid maps, but they have you can do well with other maps, civs on those maps, such as Mongols, such as Lithuanians as well. And Aztecs as a second pick is very interesting to me as well. I actually can't think of where Aztecs is going to be. I guess it's just that must just be the Arabia pick, right?
It's for Cross Shadow because of the relics. We talked about this. Come on.
Oh, my poor brain.
I'm kidding. There's no way.
Just the thought of it, though.
I know. Could you imagine? I'd be so impressed. But no, there's a lot of money on the line here, guys. So these two players will be going full try hard.
And we cannot blame them at all. Zain picking the Vikings for his third pick. Vikings? I'm not really certain where Vikings call into this.
We'll come back to Vikings, but Burgundians?
Burgundians at the moment are actually really, really strong.
I know.
Like, it's a bit of a trump card, essentially. You pick them and it's like, if you're against them, you kind of have to go, well, what are they gonna... Like, you know what's coming, but you have to prepare for it, essentially.
Yeah, you know what's coming for you, but it's still gonna be a surprise when it happens. And Lithuanians in there for Rayzor as well.
I'm
really liking his civs.
I love that both of us are thinking the exact same thing right now. Like, Rayzor's civ picks here are super strong. I think Zain is looking for a game 1 win on Arabia with the Aztecs. I would hazard a guess. And Vikings can be also an amazing Arabia civ as well. It kind of depends on what Rayzor goes for, and can almost guaranteed to be the Mudflow pick, I would imagine. It's sort of like the second best, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and why is that?
The house hopping is actually really strong because you can't place farms around your TC. So you place a house near your farms, and you don't have to build extra mills and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a spaghetti base, but it's a lot more protectable.
Yeah, spaghetti, but safe spaghetti.
Saracens? That's an interesting pick. I'm
Yeah.
thinking bypass, maybe like a somewhat of a tatty rush almost.
Oh, I would love to see it.
Maybe not a feudal tatty. Oh, actually, I think feudal tatty could be strong.
Would be.
Oh, I'm actually really keen for that now. Although one tower could theoretically stop that from doing too much damage. And Malians for Rayzor, possibly for Bay or for Cup.
And quickly choosing Vietnamese there. So I feel like Rayzor's currently got a lot of like archer-esque civs.
It's really interesting,
Zain, not
right?
so much. Well,
So
Saracens
quite a lot of the time into Britons on Quarry, you pick Vietnamese or you pick Mayans, and Rayzor's actually been quite diligent here in picking Vietnamese and banning Mayans. So I don't really know what Zain's gonna pick for Quarry here. And Zain going for the Cumans? What? Why?
Why?
I can't think of any map here other than Bypass that I would ever consider picking Cumans. Unless
Perhaps it is for bypass?
Maybe Quarry? Could you do something with like a Cuman boom? Because it's very hard to push bypass, like especially during Feudal Age. And then it would kind of force Rayzor into going for like a Men at Arms Towers rather than going for that kind of slow push of Britons. Zain going for the Indians though. Is there any map with Shorefish here? Like maybe it's a, I think up pick, because you can fish with the villagers on the shallows.
Yeah. Still, even if he is doing that, even with Indians, it's risky.
Italians, Byzantine. I love
Rayzor's. I love his Civ draft.
Like honestly, I think that Civ draft I'm putting in favor of Rayzor. I don't see an obvious Arabia Civ over the rest of them. Maybe we're gonna see the Burgundians picked for the Arabia Civ. But I think
kind of love it.
It's a bit cheeky, isn't it?
It would be cheeky, but I feel like it would also be a little bit risky because, at least in my mind, like Burgundians are still a very relatively new Civ. I feel like people haven't, got a whole heap of experience with the Civ down pat, but on the same hand, that means opponents don't really know exactly what to expect from them or how to handle them.
Exactly.
So it's kind of a little bit of a YOLO Civ in that sense, but I kind of like it for that point. Really interesting Civs from Zain. Finishing there with boss.
I don't know, like, I don't really understand Zain's picks, but I know that he's a strong enough player that he must have practiced with all of these civs to actually know why he's picking them, and probably has thought about some possible counters here. So I think Rayzor's civ draft is better, but I'm more excited to see what Zain is going to pull out with this civ draft.
So maybe we're thinking, I would guess Aztecs from Zain on Arabia, but again, like I'm really quite unfamiliar with both these players and their playstyles and their preferences.
And then probably Burgundians for Rayzor, I think, is the play. Maybe, like, I don't think you ever want to really be going for Italians on Arabia. Byzantines, like, they're not bad on Arabia, but I wouldn't put them in, like, your A or B tiers, really. I think Zain is going to be quite happy with Arabia here. I think Aztecs is definitely the best option he has.
Yeah.
And then I think for Rayzor, it's most likely Burgundians, possibly Vietnamese.
Okay.
Maybe
well, Beato in the chat. What? Yeah. Love to see it. Beato says Rayzor equals meta strats and Zain equals out of the box. I mean, that's kind of evident in their civ draft as well.
Absolutely.
You're saying based on this draft. Okay, I see.
I would say, honestly, from what I've seen, Zain is mostly meta, but the civ picks he's done right now, honestly, they don't ring meta at all.
Yeah.
And then in terms of other maps, I think for Mudflow, it's definitely looking like Khmer versus Chinese. Cross is probably Lithuanians, Japanese.
Mm.
Quarry, I would say Britain's. I think it has to be humans. That's the one that really like I keep harping back to humans here. I don't
Yeah.
understand it, but at the same time, I can see that if you have a planned strategy with humans, that could be so strong on a map like Bypass.
Mm. Did you get the game code?
I do. It's not in just yet, is it?
No, no, no. They're still in lobby, but thank you, Jordan.
I've been.
Outback Legends final.
Drop it.
So Rayzor's in-game name, guys. It will not say Rayzor, but you know that it's Rayzor.
Thank you so much for the resub.
They're
Matt,
both
appreciate it.
Sydney boys. Apparently, I thought Rayzor
Yeah.
was a Kiwi, but I was told
Procaster hype.
otherwise. So
Let's
it is
go.
not the Battle of Pavlova. It is just New South Wales versus New South Wales. It's not even the state of origin.
It's like a budget state of origin.
It's it's like New South Wales won so hard on Wednesday that like it's just state of origin with New South Wales versus New
Rip.
South Wales. Rip. Alright, Flawless says Zain easy. Kato saying Zain and his big brain. We don't do predictions at my channel, but feel free in our respective chats to get your predictions in unofficially. Who do you think is going to take this out? It's best of 7, Zain versus Rayzor.
What would you predict? Based on the Civ draft and the maps and everything.
Oh, okay. I'm actually gonna say Zain will take Arabia. I will say then it'll go to Mudflow, which Rayzor will win.
Ooh, I love
This is how like predictive I'm gonna get. I'll get really specific, so then I have more of a chance to be wrong.
Love it so far, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm
then
following.
it's gonna be bypass, which Rayzor's actually gonna win on Zane's home map.
Oh, I love
So
it.
then we go to Quarry. Zain will win that. So then now I've lost track. Who's up? One, there. Quarry. Yeah, Zain will win Quarry, and then we'll go to Cup, which Rayzor will win, and he'll also win on High Tides.
So
It'll
we're
be
gonna see a
4-2
4-2
for
for Rayzor. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think so. From what I've seen, I think Zain has the slight advantages in terms of playstyle, experience, and whatnot. Rayzor's not bad by any stretch of the imagination at all. Granted, I have been wrong with both of my semi-finalist picks, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 4-2 to Zain actually.
Okay.
Even
okay.
though I do much prefer Rayzor's Civ draft here.
Yeah, well, let's not forget, because we don't. I'm going to be wrong with my prediction. Haven't seen either of them play. They are seed 3 and 4 in the tournament, so they both had an upset in their respective semi-finals, knocking out the higher seeded player, which put Soxy and Flightless Bird out of the tournament, and
I was
seed
not
3 and 4 up
expecting
into the
that.
grand final. Yeah, I mean, usually you wouldn't, right? So Roxy reckons 4-0 to Zain.
Oh,
Jordan's saying 4-1 to Zain. Tilted saying 4-1 to Rayzor. There we go. I want to back the underdog. I reckon that from what my chat's saying, they're backing Zain for the most part. I'm going to go the underdog.
I love it. I love it.
So says Rayzor win or go into deep depression. Okay, Rayzor, no pressure, but you've got to win, okay?
Or else.
It's necessary. What else? The game is up, by the way. I just can't click it. There we go.
Just DE things. Mine's not registering because DE.
Yeah, we have
Which
a
one
minute
was?
and 15 seconds.
Oh, that's fine then. We'll find eventually.
Well, yeah, eventually. But can I spoil some civs?
Give me like 3 seconds. I get now.
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Prediction. Win for the prediction there on the civs. It is Zain playing Aztecs and Rayzor playing Burgundians.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see this matchup. In terms of what options the civs have, who do you think would, like, players aside, these two civs head to head, who do you think ends up on top?
Oh, that's a hard one. So I think Aztecs have a really large window of opportunity to do damage. They have very good early economy. They can do like crossbow eagle kind of play. They can do eagle monk. They can do some crazy all-in castle age, and I think their window of opportunity extends itself to like probably early to mid castle age. But if you allow Burgundians to get away with sort of that kind of greed that they kind of want to go for, we see mid to late castle age, Burgundians get that absolutely insane economy rolling, and an all-in castle age to early imperial age. I think that's where Rayzor is going to be looking to do the damage. But I do think Aztecs is the stronger kind of feudal civ here, so we'll see how both players want to play it.
Alright, my capture age is thinking.
that's the standard, isn't it?
It's just it's thinking real hard.
I'm really intrigued to see how greedy Rayzor wants to play it, because I think again, if you're picking Burgundians, there's a certain level of greed that you want to be going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how greedy is it? Is it gonna be like two-man saw and straight away in castle age sort of greedy? Is it gonna be handcart and feudal sort of greedy? Or is it gonna be like double bit axe before you click a button? That's about it.
Yeah, and I think Zain's got to make sure he does whatever he can to not let Rayzor get away with any greed that he might be aiming for. Shed says Flemish or get the frick out.
I respect it. I love a good Flemish.
Me too, me too. But let's have a look at the maps here. So Rayzor down playing in teal, playing as the I can't help it but to say Burgundians after watching Heart raging about Burgundians. So I'll just refer to them as Burgundians. Very happy to see that he's got 2 boars well away from his opponent. That is a really nice thing about the hidden cut maps. So probably not going to see many boars being lamed. But he's scouting his resources. He's got safe wood lines at the back. Nice main goal to the back as well. It's just the front of his base is pretty open. 2 extra golds out there at the front. So it might be troublesome for him in that regard. But do you want to take us through Zain's map?
Absolutely. Just hitting on that as well. I think for Rayzor's map, it's going to be a really hard castle age to defend that.
Yeah.
But for Zain, on the other hand, his secondary gold towards the back, and he's got a nice berries. Honestly, this is a very defensible berries for Zain. But if we look at his main gold, his secondary gold, his 2 stones, they really are all in a little bit of a line looking to get destroyed by some siege or castle pushes. So I definitely prefer Rayzor's map, at least for feudal age. I think when it goes towards castle age, though, at least for Zain, he can kind of wall up a little bit towards his front, and then he can be okay with it. Whereas Rayzor, good luck walling this.
Yes, basically. Sorry guys, just need to change this to best of 7, just some caster things, you know what it is.
Honestly, I really want to see Zain scout this hill, go for like a not super aggressive feudal age, like a somewhat aggressive feudal age, just enough to punish Rayzor. And as I say that, he also goes and taps on a villager a couple times, causing a little bit of idle time there. And punishes the deer pushing as well. But yeah, goes for not a super aggressive feudal age, just enough to kind of punish Rayzor, and goes for a siege push up on that hill, and then goes for like an eagle siege and monk push. And we see them playing with a deer. I love it. This is what I do as well. If I see my opponent pushing a deer this early, I'm like, no, like come scout me first.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Interesting that Zain didn't try and bother any Vilbits bringing in this second ball, or even the first one while he was there. I don't know off the top of my head what the rules are around laming in this event.
So it is quite literally anything goes.
That's right. Yeah, I looked up in the handbook and I clicked on the rules section, and it said basically there are no rules among legends or something like that.
It's
so,
oh
my god,
Fairly quote in that area.
Gotcha.
For those who don't know Fairly is very, very well known for his rather frustrating to play against laming strategies.
Gotcha. I just want to say a quick goodbye to Roxy. Hello and goodbye.
I think Zain is going to open with a Men-at-Arms Arch. So I could even see him going for a 4 Men-at-Arms. Oh no, Rayzor, don't lose your scout in game 1.
Yeah, no, he gets away with it safely. Zain kind of sending his Vils back to work early. I think he knows that Rayzor's not going to let him get the scout. But it looks like he will be going up at 20 pop based on his loom timing. Rayzor, on the other hand, going for his 20th villager as well at the moment, but might be going for a later uptime. Yeah, one vill later.
I think Rayzor's gonna go just for a stand scouts play and try not to. It will be greedy though. The thing is, if you go scouts against like a men at arms, archers from Aztecs, and you've got a kind of hard to defend map, it can snowball very quickly. I'd almost prefer to see Rayzor go for just a straight archers here, even though it doesn't necessarily make the most sense. And he is going for 22 pop, which might indicate that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that from a Burgundians player. Not anyone that I've played against at my little pleb 1200 level.
And Rayzor trying to get that barracks down, but Zain being as annoying as possible with that scout.
Pesky. The old deny the barracks. So Rayzor will be going up to wall that back part of his base on the right-hand side. Zain are doing a good job of walling up the front of his base, yet to commit some villagers to the sides.
So I really like that Rayzor isn't going for scouts here. What I don't necessarily know that I like is he is actually making the militia. I don't think he needs to respond with militia here. I honestly think I would just open straight archers and kind of let your opponent invest into these men-at-arms.
Yep, and it's so good that his scout happened to be there, so he could see that the barracks did have a flag up on it, so he knows what's coming, has time to prepare, but he is sending 5 villagers out to take the deer because Zain wouldn't let him push the deer. So that could be a bit of a predicament for him soon.
I don't like that. It's so unnecessarily greedy. Like, I'd be more focusing on walling in villages at home and getting ready for some bombs. And I'd be getting double bit on the way up here. I almost feel like the Rayzor's forgotten that you can get early double bit.
I mean, it's not the most strangest. It's not the strangest thing, right, for a Burgundian player to forget that they actually can get the text early. But Men-at-Arms will be in faster for Zain. He's walking away because he doesn't want to take this engagement until that tech comes in. And now Rayzor needs to walk away. He's going to take some bad damage here once that clicks in right now. Did manage to knock down one of them, but now he has to run. He's got 22 seconds left until his upgrade comes in.
I honestly think I'd cancel Men-at-Arms and just be happy my opponent's invested into it and DQ it. Although it does look like he's trying to pull him out. I don't like the... Don't get Men-at-Arms here. You've already got the value you need.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Because it's not going to be a winning fight here for Rayzor. It's just going to be not as badly losing as it would
be.
Oh, I mean, as I say that, maybe not the best micro there from Zain. But he keeps his Eagle Scout alive. And the thing is, the Eagle Scout is more important than those individual Men-at-Arms.
Absolutely. He's already got one range down, producing archers. Rayzor yet to place a range, so he'll be a little bit behind on his archer production. And now Zain sees that he has taken the deer out. There's no mill, there's nothing to protect those villagers, and he's walling straight into his TC, so they are going to get stuck if archers move straight there. And
then you either have to go, okay, well, I might risk losing a villager here, and I have to not delete the wall, or you delete the wall and risk the archer getting in. Rayzor not using... I really would like to see him using that one Men-at-Arm just to try and scout the map, because he doesn't know what's happening right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. So he's getting double bid axe now, and 2 archers moving forward for Zain.
The thing is here that as Rayzor, you can assume that there's going to be something coming, right? You don't assume that it's just going to be Men-at-Arms into nothing. Like, that is an option, but it's not the most standard option here.
Kind of convenient that that deer ran out just when it did. Oh, so one week Phil, I don't know if she can get home. Zain could try and block her, but I don't think we'll succeed. Yeah. She'll be safe.
The walls from Rayzor are very nice though, so as long as this doesn't somehow get denied, I think that Rayzor's in a pretty decent to defend position. He is going for that. I'm just surprised that he's being greedy with the military here, and yet he hasn't really gone for anything. Like, he hasn't gone for like a greedy economy as well. Like, if you're going for a greedy no military approach, then you're probably wanting to get that super early double bit during Dark Age, that super early horsepower. And both saw even.
It's just very passive from him so far. He's sitting on 31 vills compared to Zain's 29, but Zain already has a blacksmith down. Now there is the one militia that did move forward to scout up at Zain's base, but didn't really see a lot. Let me check his scouting.
He sees some farms going down.
Yeah.
That's about, I think, all he saw.
He sees some more archers coming for his base. And it's a lot of idle time from Rayzor throughout this whole process, because he had the idle time as he was walking all that way for 2 deer. Had 4 vills at one point, maybe even 5 vills walling. And now moving them around for a second wood line, as wheelbarrow is clicked from Zain. So I definitely prefer Zain's position here.
I think it's interesting because the thing is that if Rayzor gets up at roughly the same time, he will have the slightly better economy. Although Aztec economy is super strong.
Yeah, Aztec economy is nice, but I feel like what Rayzor is doing is exactly what Zain wants him to do. He's playing defensive skirms, he's got 3 on the field, his base is still open, he hasn't walled the front here, so all Zain needs to do, tech into Eagles, and I think it's his game to take. I know it's very, very early to call, and I don't want to underestimate Rayzor, but I just think this has been such a strong start from Zain, and he's got the result that he is wanting.
I 100% agree with you there. Like, that is a perfect analysis, especially if we see that kind of siege workshop on that hill, or even if Zain is in the position where he can, go for a siege workshop in the middle of the gold and the stone, and then start that strong mangonel pushing. And the only saving grace in that respect for Rayzor is he does have this back stone, so he can go for a castle if he needs to. But Zain is almost up to the castle age, whilst Rayzor is getting +1 defense for these skirms, and he's not going to be up for quite a while.
Yeah, he's a long way off being up. He's got less than 100 food at the moment, so he's got a long way to go. I think once Zain is castle age, he's already producing the Eagle Warriors, so I think he's going to be in a really, really winning spot.
I don't like this position for Rayzor at all. Like, again, it's just that it was greedy in quite a lot of ways, but it wasn't. Like, it wasn't greedy. Like, I think if you're going to be greedy in the situation, you have to double down. You have to go for the early bowstall. You have to go for the early horse color. The almost at the no military, maybe drop a tower approach, rather than going for this. What I don't want to say half-assed, because that would be an insult to Rayzor, but it is like halfway between being greedy and not.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's not being half-assed, it's just not committing to either one or the other, and just kind of sitting in the middle, just being passive, and that lets Zain get away with exactly what he wants to do. And so 3 Eagles on the field now.
It's a bit like when you go for a 2 TC play. Most of the time, it's just not. It's just not satisfying.
You're calling me out. I do that.
Oh no, I do that as well. Like it's. For me, it's often because I just don't have the ego to get the 3rd TC up.
Exactly, yeah. Story of my life.
It's like, I'm planning really a 3rd TC, but... Oh, sorry, go continue.
Yeah. I'd really like to see Rayzor walling the front of his base. It's not going to take a lot to do, and it could absolutely save him. And he just needs to wall and stall at this point. Now that he sees that Zain's castle age, I think we need to see that reaction.
And especially as it's not like you haven't seen some Eagles coming. Like, you know Eagles are coming. You know it's going to get pretty ugly really soon. We do see Rayzor responding now. Maybe a touch on the later end. The thing is here, though...
Yeah, completely.
If Rayzor can get to Cavalier, especially decent numbers of Cavalier, Cavalier don't just win against Eagle Warriors, they kind of clap them, to be honest.
Yeah, that is true. But that's a long way off.
And then as Zain, though, you can just add some monks. I love that Zain is like, okay, you know what? I don't really give a shit. I'm just gonna die at the TC. He's got the +2 defense. And this is what we were saying before, like, it was unnecessary for Rayzor. Rayzor should not be taking any damage from these initial Eagles. It should be Zain having to add a siege workshop for this to really work. And look at all of these farmers being like, shit, run, run.
And I just find it baffling that instead of just walling the front earlier, he's then had this reaction, pulling all these vills, not even keeping the Eagles out, and now I think that he won't be able to come back from this at all. The Archers still don't want to dive the TC, but that's okay. The Eagles are doing their damage in idle time, let alone villager kills.
Eco KG is 5-0 in favor of Zain right now. And he can just keep putting some Eagles in his base. It's not like this TC has Bodkin in it, so these Eagles will... survive for quite a while. Although that poor Eagle on the gold is slowly getting pecked off by those...
Oh no.
javelins.
Not this gross.
Nice quick
I love that.
Rayzor,
yeah, that is true. And he has placed the 2 stables, so that it will be his plan as he hits castle age. But I like that Zain sent the archers over to the left-hand side. He's like, I don't want to send them under the TC. I don't have to either. Let's just send them around.
And Rayzor forced up his TC on the gold wood line.
Oh.
I think it's necessary. It's just it shouldn't be necessary. I think is the best way of putting it.
This is quite sad to see for Rayzor. He has got 2 knights on the field. He is getting +2, but just the idle time that we've seen here.
And there's only 2 knights on the field though. We'll have +2 defense soon. And even when his TC goes up, it's already the amount of damage that the Eagles and Archers have done is just insane. Although villager counts are surprisingly even here.
That's very true.
Time.
Yeah, but this is 22 military compared to 7. Yes, villager numbers are the same, but I think Rayzor's economy has just been completely messed up with this. He's really lacking wood now, and mind you, he doesn't need it for the Cavalier, for the Knights at this stage, but still.
And another villager being picked off by Zain. I just love that he's, like, even though these archers aren't getting any more upgrades, they're not really doing that much. It's the fact that it makes it so that Rayzor can't place more villagers on the gold very efficiently.
Yeah.
And the
more
Eagles are
running
diving.
in the top.
Oh. And I don't understand why Rayzor hasn't walled the front. Like, maybe it's just too much pressure.
Yeah.
I think that's must be what it is. It's like a panicked reaction.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's just a shame. It is a shame. Mind you, it wouldn't matter if he walled the front at this point because the side is open too. But this is a lot of damage. 34 villagers for Rayzor. Most of them are idle now. 14 idle. Great pressure from Zain.
And Zain's not even just making this a 1 TC all in. He's added a second TC quite a while ago. He's adding a third TC now. And he's even thinking about siege to finish it off.
Yeah, sending the villager forward. He wants to end this game.
And Rayzor forced to take some market prices to get military out here. Like, it's just kind of ugly right now, isn't it? Like,
it is, with the Eagles just constantly flooding in.
And I feel for Rayzor, I've been in a situation before where Eagles are just absolutely ruining my day.
Yeah, and you can't really stop him at this point. Like, you just have to mass up your knights so they actually can take out the Eagles and not just get flattened one by one. But in that time, the Eagles can just run around wherever they want. So Rayzor now going to place the TC on the right-hand side, but the Eagles are straight there. And there's so many Eagles. 19 military on the field for Zain compared to Rayzor's 4.
And Zain, normally in this position, like when you're going for a forward siege, GG is called by Zain, by Rayzor. But normally you go for like a Mangan first or something like that. But in this position where you're so far ahead, you can just go for a ram.
He just went the ram, yeah. The get out of my game ram. GG's. Well played by Zain, well played by Rayzor as well. We knew it was going to be tough for him to wall the front. But I feel like this is kind of the mistake that cost him the game. He did some great walling up to that point, but like you said, it was quite greedy play. But greed in the sense that didn't really achieve him any advantage over his opponent. So nice use of the options that Aztecs have as well. Sadly, we didn't get to see the Burgundian masterpiece, but we will. So we will give that win to Zain. I'm just going to quickly go and grab some water.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'll be back in a sec. I'll leave you. Like, my stream will still be up to hear you, so don't talk shit about me while I'm gone, okay?
Everyone, quickly talk shit about Little Trouble.
No, I'll be back.
See you in a minute. That was an amazing game 1, and we'll be giving the game 1 prediction to Zain. We'll let you guys get a prediction for game 2 as well. Hope you guys enjoyed that game as much as I did, and I'm looking forward to game 2 as well. We can have a quick look at the Civ draft. So obviously Zain having won with the Aztecs and Rayzor having lost with the Burgundians. So Rayzor has the option to pick any of his 3 home maps now, which are Cup, Bay, and Mudflow. And I think, honestly, if I'm Rayzor here, I'd be tempted to pick Mudflow just to get it out of the way. And then it'll most likely be Chinese versus Khmer. But do get your predictions in for game 2. I want to see who you guys think is going to win. It'll be Cup, maybe. Sweep? I don't think so, Holmes. I think that I'd be underestimating how good Rayzor is. I do agree though, 3 houses and he would have been much, much happier there. Oh, so far looking like we have the predictions for Rayzor to win game 2, remembering that this is his own home map. Little Trouble has an Aussie accent, is that enough talking? Absolutely, I love Little Trouble, she's amazing. I'm not just saying that because I'm obviously co-casting with her, but she's one of the first streamers that I actually started watching. So even jokingly, I don't think I could talk shit about her. Let's go and see if this game 2 is underway.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. We have a game code. I'm trying to see if we have a game, but AoE2 things.
Okay. just yep.
It's not even DE things at this point. It's AoE2.net.
Yeah,
it's DE.
well,
It's like a mixture of all things.
we'll just always we've got to always blame DE.
Just thanks, DE.
Thank you, DE.
Oh, it came up for a second. Oh, I hate it when that does that. It's like tormenting.
Ah,
you.
it's such a tease. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Ah, I can click it and I can spectate it. Let's go.
I hate you a tiny bit right now.
Oh, and straight in. Holy moly. Holy.
That is just a delay, I'd
moly.
imagine. Oh, come on. I
No,
saw it
no
again.
delay. Sorry. Do you want me to pause?
No,
or catch up?
we'll just catch up. Ah, it's gonna be Mudflow, but it's not quite what I
It's
expected
Mudflow.
from
Yeah.
Zain. I mean, Indians is a good second option in this draft, I'd imagine. But I still think Khmer's the better of the picks in his draft.
Yeah. So while Shadow jumps in and let me know when you are in, we're going to be catching up to live time, and Shadow is as well. So this is Mudflow, Hidden Cup 4 Mudflow. I described it as, yeah, I think this was the one I described as kind of a half Bog Islands party in the middle, a little bit of a party on the outside as well. Zain over here in the green has chosen Indians. There is shorefish around the TC, but no, not even shorefish. That's just regular deep fish. So I don't think there is shorefish on this map. That won't be the reason for his pick. There must be another reason, right?
It benefits deep fish as well.
Oh, today I learned.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
like
You're the brains of this operation.
99.9% sure that it benefits deep fish
Really?
as well.
Sort of. I don't know. I'll trust you. I thought it was just shorefish, but you are the brains here.
We'll find out
regardless,
I'm completely wrong.
yeah. Zain is Indians, left-hand side. Right-hand side, we have Rayzor. This is Rayzor's home map, and he's picked Chinese.
Do you know why you picked Chinese on this map?
Shadow, I don't ever know why anybody picks anything. I don't even know why I
give
pick
you
certain
credit
items.
for it, Little Trouble. I've seen you. I know you got the brains. But the reason you want to pick Chinese on this map, if you can, is because you don't have nearly as much idle time due to the villagers being able to collect the shorefish, or the fish in this case, straight away. And
you know why else Chinese is amazing? Because they get heavy demolition ships.
Oh, true. And they add double the HP.
Exactly. The real reason. Sorry, go on though.
Oh no, absolutely. But yeah, I still kind of have to question Indians here over Khmer. I think if you don't have Khmer, Indian's perfectly good pick on this map.
Yeah, okay.
But Khmer, with the house hopping, does make it so that if it's much less punishable for you. Although, if we do see Zain get into the Indian camels, obviously they are slightly better than the Chinese ones. Not by a huge amount, though. Oh, Zain.
I really love the bonus that they get against buildings, though. Oh, yeah. Up with 21 pop.
Both players up really
Sorry, Rayzor 21 pop. Zain 19 pop. Okay. He's got a plan, the man with a plan. Hello, Django. Is this a low elo Tony?
Oh,
no.
Oh, Jesus,
Far
Django.
from it. These are... no, Django didn't say that. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him, but no. These are very, very good players. Zain and Rayzor, both from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. They are like 1900 2K.
And they both had upsets in the semifinals, as Little Trouble pointed out earlier, to get here.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah, so
obviously in their peak at the moment.
yeah, playing very, very well. And we did see that game one went out to game two on Mudflow, both players on their way out to the feudal age here, walling in the wood lines, which is nice to see. Well, I don't know. So Zain had placed the palisades and then was like, nah,
Who
nah.
needs to...
He's
I
just like,
actually think I see what Zane's planning here. He's not planning to wall in the woodline fully just yet. I think he's planning to wall it out to land. So that... okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But, because
you know the rules of casting Shadow. As soon as you say something, the players prove you wrong, like in the moment.
Absolutely. But yeah, I was gonna say, because if you wall it out to the land, then demo ships aren't as much of a problem. Obviously, on this
Huh.
map, you don't see demos like straight away usually, but you often will see the demos out at some point.
I'd kind of love to just see Insta demos. That'd be a strat. How did he get Chinese? Yes, yeah, Django, we were thinking that too. At the draft stage. From memory, Zain banned Malay, Rayzor banned
Mayans.
something Mayans, thank you. And then Zane's first pick was Japanese. So he didn't ban Chinese, he didn't pick it himself, he let it go to Rayzor for free. So Rayzor's probably pretty damn happy with that. And we see scouts on the field, spears on the field for both players, pretty even at this point, both with 5 military. Really similar opening, but Zain went up with less pop.
And the Tiger getting some value there for Rayzor.
Let's go.
I love it
Gaia
when Gaia
on
gets
his
involved.
side. Seriously, yeah. Don't kill him!
How dare they?
How dare they? Yeah. What I really like here that Rayzor's done is shift Q Palisades for when he finishes chopping that tree.
Oh, it's such a small thing, but it's amazing.
Yeah, little things like that, I love to see it. So Zane's scouts and spears moving forward against Rayzor now, but Rayzor's woodline is safe. His vills around the TC don't have too far to go, and he's placing the archery range now. So scouts and a range opening as he moves to gold. So it'll be scouts to archers, which I love to see.
I think it's a really good plan. I'm surprised how early the move is onto archers, but I'm thinking here for Rayzor, it's not so much about getting many archers out. It's just about getting a couple so you can deal with the spears.
Just enough. Exactly. And now a little to and fro as the scouts from Rayzor move into Zane's base, but he's got 4 at home.
I wouldn't be
Sadly,
surprised to
doesn't have
see
those
Zayn
Chimera
go
households.
for a Bloodlines play here, honestly.
There's the first archer queued up.
I think I don't know, the thing with archers here is you don't have the mobility. And on a map like this, mobility is king.
Yeah, but if you do manage to move them forward, you can do so much damage. Like, be so pesky against the woodlines that are walled in.
That is very true. Although I'd almost consider more going for a tower in that situation rather than archers. Because you will want fletching here as well as Rayzor. Although for the first couple of pickoffs, they do have that bonus damage against spears, so it can make these fights very one-sided until Zayn either decides to commit to going for bloodlines or for some skirmishes. I mean, Rayzor's going for that dock.
Yeah. Let's go. Rayzor with the dock. And the military advantage 14-7. Here go the scouts. Ooh, they both back off. I think Zayn could have taken that fight there, but he has to be very careful of the spears from Rayzor.
And rain coming down now for Zayn. And we're also getting confirmation on the fisherman thing. Thank you guys for confirming that for me.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
Sorry,
I was like
result?
thinking I'd heard about it before, but I was like it doesn't sound right in this situation.
What was the result?
That the Indian the fish bonus, because villagers are treated as fishermen, it applies to them as well.
So it is for deep fish as well?
Yeah. Zayn taking a brutal fight there against those spearmen.
That was really good from Rayzor.
I don't even know if we could call that a fight, it was more a massacre.
Yeah, it was more so Zayn's scouts just didn't move in time. Shame for him, and 1 archer, 2 spearmen. The archer kind of moving into his death there against the spearmen, but now the others move in to help him out. It'll be fine for Rayzor, who will maintain his military advantage as he places more farms. It's all happening. He's got the dock. but I don't see anything happening with the dock. But speaking of a tower, Zain did place one on his woodline. He must have heard me.
I feel like he had to, but then I don't necessarily like the position of it. Because the thing is that if Rayzor sees this, he's like, cool, that tower doesn't really stop me from placing a tower to deny the wood. Like, normally when you place a tower like this, you want it really close to the front of the wood line, just in case, you know, the archers want to come play, or a tower wants to come play.
Yeah, so I see one scum on the field from Zain.
Never
I
mind.
really love this game so far. It's no, never mind. No, from Zain. Yeah. Wait.
Oh, it died.
It's in the it's in the range. It's in the range.
Oh, there's another
so
one.
There is
okay,
one
cool.
hiding. Smart move. And now I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. I see an overchop in Zane's woodline though. No, just as very good.
I'd seen it before, but I assumed Zain was going to patch it up pretty quickly. But
yeah.
Rayz is looking like in a very good position. This is kind of what you were saying before about the archers that can be very pesky. If you can get away with it, I think it is a little risky.
This. North of Zane's base, the scouts got on the villagers who were chasing the spears and the archer, but now they're so far from home. I don't see if one vill goes down. Two vills go down there.
Absolutely
that
worth it for Rayzor. Even if he
beautiful.
lost all of the spears there, that would have 100% been worth it for him there.
Yeah, now he's denied those farms, so luckily for Zain, he does have the farms to the south of his TC still safe. Getting some good hits on the scout there.
He is
now his
slowly
spears are out of position,
stabilizing,
so...
but yeah, oh, this is actually a really good fight.
This is dodgy.
I think, maybe?
Well, it looked to be, but...
I think it's those couple of archers behind it. Like, I think maybe I underestimated it a little bit.
To move in. So now there's some weak villagers going back to the farms up north. Holy moly.
And Rayzor is adding a galley, and the thing is, as we were saying before, this tower it's not bad, but it's not
it's not good. Yeah.
So one galley basically denies half the wood, and it just needs to sit on the edge, honestly. And then cleaning up that one galley, you either have to invest into a dock and a fire, or you have to get lucky with some scouts and either some scouts and some spears or something like that.
Can I just say, by the way, remember my Omega prediction said that Game 2 would be... Oh no, I didn't say it would be Mudflow. I said that was Game 3. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, oops.
Never mind. I said Rayzor would win Mudflow.
Oh, absolutely. I just think it was a massive mistake from Zain to allow Chinese to get through unbanned and
Oh, there's still a hole here, by the way, in the South Wood line. That hasn't been patched. He kind of tried to patch it. But anyway, the galley's there. It doesn't need a hole to get in.
Zain.
Yeah.
Like, do you just like send the vills and just whack it down with the villagers?
Tempting, honestly. I'm really impressed with how Rayzor's using his military. He's moving around constantly and he's forcing Zain to chase him. So now the game is in his control. He's dictating the pace. Archer's doing well. Skirm's fighting against the scout instead of the archers.
I think Zane's getting a little bit overwhelmed too, and I think that makes sense with everything that's going on. He's also got a 5 villager deficit right now. And not moved on to gold just yet, so he won't be clicking up anytime soon. Or going for bloodlines.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of one of the win conditions he could have had here. Was if he kept his scout numbers alive and got to bloodlines. Yes, even if Rayzor makes a couple of spears, you can slowly pick off the bloodline scouts, but the bloodline scouts can overwhelm you.
Oh, another field pick just before that archer goes down. Holy moly. I think Rayzor's on fire right here. He's forced Zain to move his woodline. Now he can send his scouts and archers straight there. Oh yeah, another with a galley. Oh my gosh.
And another one in the woodline as well. And Rayzor going to be winning game 2.
Holy moly. That was great. I really, really loved that game. And I'm happy to see, like... You go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, I can't blame Zain for resigning at that point. It's one of those maps that's so tilting.
Completely, yeah. And Rayzor did play this map very well. Like, he invested in the dock, invested in the galley, went for the early archery range. I really think he played this well, and that's really nice to see because game 1 seems more one-sided. So I was kind of thinking, oh man, like we're gonna have a sweep here, like that's what chat was saying, you know, they're all backing Zain. But Rayzor in this game showed that he could absolutely step up.
100%. And you can see in the KD as well, it wasn't like it was... Like, I'm not saying that Zain got stomped, but it was very dominant from Rayzor. 42 to 25 in favor of him. And a army high of 17 in Feudal Age.
I don't remember how to get the timeline up.
It is... Let me just double check I got this right.
It's not
Control Shift S?
Control...
Oh, sorry.
Control Alt S.
There
yeah.
we go.
I tried every other combination, but without Alt. Yeah, so there's the timeline there. Really good game from Rayzor. And I think, honestly, I think it's smart of Zain to resign at this point. I think, considering the point at which Rayzor resigned in game 1, and compare that to where Zain resigned at this point, you have to remember, everybody, that it's a best of 7, and you don't want to have 7, potentially, really long games, because it's exhausting for the players. They're just going back to back, one after another. So if you realize, okay, yes, I am dead, you kind of want to just let that one go. Next game, keep your energy up.
Although one of the things you can do if you're not so much necessarily dragging it out, but if you are playing in a tournament, sometimes you'll want the first game or two to go on a little bit longer, just so you warm up a little bit and try and see how your opponent's playing in that day as well.
That is true. Yeah, good point. Alrighty, we will go to game 3.
I've got the game ID. I can't see if we got a game just yet.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think the Ease is having a day for me.
Oh, I think it always has a day.
Although I was having a time where I could find all of the games like almost instantly. I don't know why.
Alrighty.
Worst comes to worst, I can just use the spectate function. They'll love Alien for that. Alien does some amazing commands. Have you found it?
No. Not yet. Not even in lobby browser. Oh yeah, mythology. Sorry, I'll go back to the draft scene so you can see what we've got. So they're the civs there. Let me fix it up so we know that it was a win for Aztecs. Oh. Win for Aztecs. Loss for Burgundians.
What map do you think Zain's gonna pick here? So he has the option of going for Bypass, High Tides, and Quarry.
Let me have a look at the maps again while I check to... Yeah, I still can't see it in lobby browser. Odd. So Bypass, High Tides, or Quarry. Ooh. I would love to see Bypass. That's what I hope, but whether it'll actually be the case. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna go Quarry.
Well, I can tell you are 100% wrong, because I just found the game.
Shit.
It is gonna be High Tides.
Well.
Do you want to predict this before I blurt them out?
Oh. High Tides. Let me have a look at what that looks like again. High Tides. Oh, I'm gonna be so wrong. Let's say, oh shit, this is hard because I look at Zain's Civ draft and I'm like, I don't see anything obvious for him. I want to see Lithuanians for Rayzor.
And then Zain.
Am I 100% wrong?
Well, I can tell you that it's definitely not Lithuanians for Rayzor. But it will be Malians for Rayzor, and Zain will be playing the Japanese.
Okay, yeah, I would have got that wrong.
What were you thinking? Maybe I was actually kind of thinking maybe Vikings for High Tides, but I think it makes sense to go for a Civ that can up a little bit earlier, like Japanese on High Tides, because you do start off with that initially really close combat fires, which then eventually transition into a few galleys quite often. We do have a prediction running in my chat if you guys do want to use some channel pointers. Gambling is bad, MK.
MK. Yeah, well, I'm the fun police at my channel. We don't do predictions, so if you want to, do your predictions, people, and get some Shadow's channel points, go to
I'd
go to
love
his
to
channel.
hear your insight on that. Is it just like a no gambling sort of thing, or?
No, you know what it is? That would be the kind of wise reason, but my reason is that like the LT puntos are a hot commodity, and because my hand in marriage is up for grabs, we don't
Oh, you
want
don't want
people to
anyone
just
getting a.
get lucky with their bets and that be it.
You just secretly raise it, right?
Yeah, I've raised them once.
Oh, really?
Because it was redeemed. I was like, oh, shit, this was never actually meant to be redeemed. Oh my god. So I raised it to 1,000,000. Anyway, we are in game. Oh, and Headbanger, thank you so much. But let me catch up to lifetime. We can talk about the civs, we can talk about the map. This is called High Tides. It is quite a beautiful looking map, to be honest. I've never played it myself. Have you, Shadow?
No. I would love to say yes, because it actually looks like a really fun hybrid map to play. But I have
Yeah.
never played it myself. From what I've seen of it though, it is very shit showy. Like it starts off pretty standard water play. Someone wins water, and then the other player usually goes for like an all-in land aggression to try and even things out a little bit.
Mm.
And Axis is saying it's a pain to play, so
Okay,
it does
okay.
look like a pain to play as well. Like
It
especially if
does.
you're not used to playing hybrids. And
Mm.
the thing is that it's very hard to wall as well on land. So a lot on a lot of hybrid maps, you do sort of want to try and get walled behind whatever build you're doing. But on this sort of map, good luck walling all the hills, the wood lines being so far apart. Did see
Yeah.
Flightless go for a very heavy walling approach, and it almost paid off for him. He just didn't make enough land military, if I'm not mistaken, in his set.
Mhm.
But in general, I don't know. I think committing too much to walls here and not enough to land military is always going to end you in hot water.
Yeah. Like it is possible to wall perhaps Razor's base more so than Zane's. But you're right, it would be a big commitment, and by the time it takes to get all those walls up, your opponent will be feudal, get out some scouts on the field, you just it's quite risky to bank on that happening.
What do you think of the gold placements for both players? Looks, I'm looking at them and it's at a glance, half of Zane's golds are halfway towards Rayzor.
Well, yes, but I don't know. I feel like it's somewhat even in a sense.
Wait, that's Razor's
Razor's,
gold.
yeah, that's
I thought that was Zane's
Razor's gold.
gold.
Oh god, that'd be terrible. No, that's Razor's gold. This one out here, it's so far away. Little scout engagement up top, by the way, and then we'll go back to the golds. But there's a Veil from Razor coming up. I don't think it'll make it in time. If it does, then it could win this fight. Go, 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 little dude. Come on.
And
Yeah, and
Zayn
so Zayn
realizing, so it'll
runs.
be pretty much
Great
even there.
reaction.
But the difference here is that Zayn's dock is going up a decent amount earlier than Razor's.
Yes. Yeah. So Razor's secondary gold is so far away. It's so far away. But he does have the other two in a better spot. Zayn, on the other hand, has two towards his opponent and one that's at the back, but that's also quite far away. So I don't really have a side that I would prefer. Probably Razor, just
I
because
would
his
agree
main
with
gold is in a
that.
better spot.
It's just, I think the only downside to Razor's gold there is that it is on that little bit of a hill. But I think you
Yeah.
can I think you can commit to walling that between those two wood lines and the third one to the right hand side, and be pretty confident that you can defend this gold at least in feud late quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I would definitely try and wall in a way that keeps that gold safe, just like you said, cross there, and then you could even just do it into your TC, like Razor did in game one, if he felt it necessary. So Zane taking some more hits by the TC. Actually, I don't know if he was hit by it, but
think
he
he
at least
managed to
knows
dodge
exactly
them.
where Razor is. Yeah, I think so too, based on his HP. Both scouts on 12 HP. And Razor now going to push in some D. I really like this move because he scouts low HP. He doesn't want to run into a TC himself. I'll check his scouting now too, but I think it's nice just so he can use his scout still to get some value out of it. Push the deer in. I love that there's 3 zebras and 1 ostrich, by the way.
Most of
Nice
the hidden
little
cup
detail.
maps have that sort of thing. I absolutely love it.
Oh, never
I know
noticed.
that the hidden cup for hideout has, I think it's like 2 zebras and an ostrich or something like that.
Oh, they're
Or a
friends.
deer or something. I can't remember the exact numbers, but they just mix and match them a little bit, which is kind of cute.
Yeah. So what I don't like for Rayzor is that he doesn't have any scouting. Like he hasn't even found a house or anything. Like maybe he just wants to avoid a TC, but he hasn't found anything. Doesn't know where Zain is. But I suppose with the map, it's easy enough to predict.
And Zane's going for a barracks. These are gonna be forward villages for. I was thinking maybe towers. So the thing is here, what you can do if you don't really want to play with too much water here is you can make a couple of fires. Not over-invest in land. Just try and make your opponent commit more to water. And then surprise your opponent really with the men-at-arms and the archers. Rayzor is being diligent in sending the scout forward now, but by the time he realizes the men-at-arms might already be in his base, it is unfortunate.
Yeah, if he even scouts the barracks, he's seen a little bit of a gold pile, but I think he's going the long way around. Like I said, it's easy enough to predict where the opponent's going to be on this map, High Tides, but we do see the third militia coming from Zain.
Let's not forget these are Japanese men-at-arms that can do so much damage if you're not ready for them. And the thing is here that Zain could theoretically win water as well as land in this situation. If he manages to force Rayzor off of gold long enough with these men-at-arms, then all of a sudden, he's got 2 docks, but guess what? Neither of those docks are with no gold.
Yes. So both players up to feudal now. It is 28 population for Zain, 25 now for Rayzor. And he knows exactly where to send them. He's got to get the scout out of the way, and he does that. Now the villagers are in a tricky spot as men-at-arm hits right there, runs the scout away. Good reaction. Ooh, close. One vill goes down. There's been no... Oh, there's the quick wall reaction. Does go up just in time.
And then good luck quick walling this gold. Like, on a hill, it's so hard to wall that.
Yes. And it's actually Zain that's also getting the first hit on Rayzor's fire galley. So that's going to be a good head start there for Zain. Obviously, Rayzor having the 2 docks is going to help him, but like he said, if he doesn't have gold, it's not going to be very good for his docks. He does have 3 villagers safe there.
With 3 villagers on gold, he should be able to keep at least one of those docks running. The second one will be a bit patchy. Honestly, I think for Zain, I wouldn't be surprised to see him adding a second dock somewhat soon, though. These Japanese fishing ships do survive very easily. Range coming down for Rayzor, though. I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily late. It is as early as you could get it, but it is unfortunate at the timing of it. And Zain already adding an archer.
Yeah, and he's doing well up top of the docks as well.
Although it looks
Rayzor's villager not repairing.
But because the dock's in the way, Zane's not actually doing any damage to Rayzor's fire galley. Really nice little place there.
Oh my god. I've never actually seen that. Wow, there we go. Okay, sneaky. Very sneaky indeed. The archer moves forward just in time to stop that wall down left of Rayzor's base going up, and now the militia are going to get another pick here, surely. Forcing the gold to be evacuated.
That village is looking very tasty for the men-at-arm. I think it might just escape. Honestly, for Zain, I don't... I mean, he gets the kill, it ends up being worth it, but I honestly don't know if I would have risked it.
Yeah, and he's taking so much damage on the men-at-arm anyway.
And the blacksmith, yes, it goes up, but there is 2 villagers getting idle over there. Rayzor has 5 idle villagers at the moment. Water is looking like Rayzor's game for the moment, but with land snowballing so far in Zane's advantage, I don't like this position for Rayzor at all.
Yeah, it's interesting because Zane's doing in this game kind of what Rayzor did in the last game. And he's doing it really well, but this game might be trickier for Rayzor to defend because of these hills everywhere, and he's placing a defensive tower on the berries, will somewhat protect that wood line as well.
Can we just talk about how long this fishing ship is gonna last against this fire galley? It's taking almost no damage. And a tower going down on the...
Thank you, boy.
Oh, I don't like this tower.
The one on the berries?
Like, I understand wanting to keep the berries safe, but I would much rather have a tower on this back gold and wood line if needed. Because at the moment, Rayzor has no access to gold. And Zain, if he keeps his army mobile, he can, you know, he can keep denying the golds and the wood lines. Whereas you can always make it so you can get more food. And especially as Rayzor is currently ahead in water, I'm actually kind of surprised that Zain hasn't invested more into water. But he has got one fire
galley going. Where's it going? Yeah, you can tell their focus is everywhere, both players. He's trying to break in on the wood line. The archer's fighting back against the skirms who are going to get knocked down. They're such low HP. So they could break into this wood line, and then that's 6 vills, 3 of which are already low HP, that are in trouble.
And now the archer can just be harassing that villager on the hill. I mean, it will take less damage because it's on a hill.
Yeah.
But yeah, one villager's going to be going down now, possibly 2 or 3.
Oh, he can't wall it. That was so weird. Did you see the villagers just didn't go to the house?
They were on strike for the trouble. They've had enough of this abuse.
I know, they have. I don't blame them. Oh dear, such a good position for Zain's army to be sitting in, and Rayzor forcing having to place a market down.
And both
he would have scouted that gold
fish.
At the back, I reckon.
14 farms to 8, so Zain currently also with the farming advantage. So even though Rayzor has had these fishing ships working a little bit longer, Zain is going to be up significantly earlier here with the better economy.
And this is the issue with that tower that he placed. Just like he said, it doesn't really help with the wood line, doesn't really help with the gold.
This is the sort of tower you place if you're, let's say you're playing Arabia, you've got forward berries, and your opponent's going from men-at-arms towers. That's the tower you place. You don't place that tower on a map like this, I don't think, without getting punished. And we see now, luckily for Japanese, this is Malians, but even for Malians, you do have these cheaper buildings anyway, so it's not as bad as it could be. But Zain on the way up to Castle Age.
Yeah, 37 villages to 36, so relatively even, surprisingly, because you look at the eco KD and it's 11 kills for Zain, 3 deaths, and they're just the fishing ships. There's been no pressure put on Zain's base, and because of that, look at him putting the buildings forward. He's going double stable.
I love it.
I love that he's just sent the villa out, just place them there. They're gonna get to Rayzor sooner. I love it.
And the best thing here for Zain is, so Rayzor's currently on skirms number 1. Number 2, this tower is not in a position that you can actually defend. Not against archers, let alone knights. And there's so much exposed economy here for Rayzor. Rayzor is using that market to try and get up a little bit sooner. But it is not looking good for him right now. And Zain also now taking control in the water.
Yeah.
And Exorcist regretting his decision to bet on Rayzor. Or not bet on Zain, possibly. Rayzor almost on the way up now. Probably gonna be it's gonna be 2 minutes behind with Bloodlines and +1 defense in for Zain.
Yeah.
Like, these skirms already do nothing against the Knights, let alone now. He does at least see them, so now he has the scouting information to know, okay, there's gonna be Knights in my base pretty soon. I think Zain just gets +2 defense on the Knights and just starts playing how many dead villagers do you want?
I'm so interested in the sending the skirms into the woodline thing here from Rayzor.
I kind of love it. It's very cheeky.
It's so cheeky. Like, I don't know, they're not gonna do much damage to villagers. They probably would have been, like, the villagers they're gonna walk laps around this woodline. It's causing idle time. Okay, so that's one thing. It's also causing any knights to stay home a little longer. That's another thing, sure. But it is also just throwing 5 skirmishes for free. Suppose he figured he was going to lose them anyway. It's just very interesting.
I don't necessarily know that he needed to send them, like, all forward. I would have thought, like, maybe 2 or 3 of them forward. Or maybe even just one.
I just said one
forward.
To scout. Just
one to scout and maybe just get some attack notifications for Zain.
Yeah. Yeah, so Zain placing his second TC up north. We do have a knight already in the base of Rayzor, and the Expo there as well.
So
they've already got Bodkin.
So Rayzor is going for double stable here, and double stable camels will clean up everything here. Except the crossbows, but there isn't that many crossbows. But I think Rayzor might be able to stabilize.
Stabilize, Shadow.
Oh, he hasn't got any. I think if he had a little bit more wood in the bank, maybe.
Well, he's got
Oh.
nobody on wood at the moment. It is very, very tricky here. That's a lot of expo coming in, 3 knights as well. They just walk straight past the tower. They don't even care. They've barely taken damage, the expo, so they're going to now go and bother the gold again. He knows where to hit.
Rayzor is getting more knight numbers out than Zain. Zain currently does have the knight lead, but both of Rayzor's knight stables working. Whereas Rayzor's only got one of them working. Sorry, Zain only had one of them working before.
Yeah, but Rayzor's only got one built at this stage. Oh, look at the villagers. They're going on a mission.
It must be called GG, right? If you're at this point
Yes.
where you're sending 26 villagers to the gold, and you can't even place a TC there to protect it.
Yeah, not even. He's got 4 wood. Like, there's no chance that he'll be getting a TC for protection anytime soon. Really, nothing for. He can't even quick wall to save those builds, and the knights are straight in.
Like, you have to build like this with the knights, and it's just so ugly.
I know, it's still ugly. It's 35 villagers compared to Zane's 48. Zane placing his 3rd TC on the right-hand side now. Completely untouched at home. Really dominant game here from Zane. The good news is Rayzor did wall
for Rayzor right now, though. Just like being in this position where you're just dead at this point and just trying to.
You're a sitting duck. Yeah. Oh, it's open at the front as well.
Oh, I don't know if that was a hole or what it was. I know the crossbow punched a hole in the north, but that's now been repatched.
Yeah.
Maybe and he still is open at the very back. And it looks like Zane's gonna try and get these crossbow to safety. And Rayzor finally back onto wood with those 4 on wood and 4 on farms. So we'll just be market economy for Rayzor.
It's gonna be rough. Yeah, the Expo will just have to kind of try and run, do what damage they can. Good thing for Rayzor is he does have his +2 in. Zane can't say the same just yet, but he's already going for a monk. He's already got a monk on the field.
And he's got the 3 TC echo. It's like he's not even a little bit ahead right now. He's 26 villages ahead. He can stop build production for the next 20 minutes and still be ahead, I think, in build numbers.
Yeah, and he's placing him in the barracks now. That's great. So he's gonna add some bike.
Good night, Maz. Hello, Freakers.
But he's healing up his knights. I love to see that. Getting some archers still at home, and Rayzor moving out with a siege workshop placed up top, but he just doesn't have the resources. It's almost double the village count.
I mean, I think this is what you have to do as Rayzor. Like, you kind of have to just do an all-in here. You know you're super far behind, so you just get as many knights in as you can, and then go for a siege workshop and try and snowball an advantage. But at this point, I think Rayzor's gonna be buying every single mangonel with gold.
Yeah, if he loses that gold as well again, which is possible. Zane's on 19 military, Rayzor on 12. Good reaction from Zain to not let those knights get in, because they would knock out some villages on Zane's gold. But his economy is peachy. He is in a fine spot. Pikeman tech being clicked. Just still the 1 monk, one other in the queue. So 2 monks on the field now, might get some converts. We'll try at least.
This is perfect for Zain. Like, Japanese pikemen are already so strong, and the thing is, if you tech pikemen in early castle age, it's such a strain your economy. But if you're gonna take it at this point, Zane's already set up 3 TC eco. It's already going really nicely for him. Would love to see +1 defense coming in on these pikemen though, but it's just a position that I almost don't think I might regret saying this, but I don't think he can throw this as Zain.
Careful, don't you? Yeah, I love that the monks are at least maybe trying to scare off the knights, but with these numbers, the monk's not too scary. With the mangonel taking the shot there, I'd really love to see Zain making use of his water control, bothering those 2 docks from Rayzor and taking some fish. But I can totally understand that both players' focus is completely on land at this stage.
This is what I was saying before, like, if you have +1 defense, these pikemen will be surviving a lot longer. Obviously, Zain getting the better trade anyway, but now, Rayzor called him a GG.
Yeah. Okay, you didn't jinx it for Zain, that's a relief. Oh, thank you for doing that, Salt.
That's a bit rough for Rayzor, honestly, after a bit of a rough game for Zain. So at least they're taking it in turns to have the rough game.
Yeah, that is good to see. Very generous of the players. It's nice. Wow, that was a struggle for Rayzor. That was just very tough.
I don't necessarily think Rayzor played it badly. I think Zain just played
Yeah,
it amazingly. Like,
really
getting that
well.
meta
I
arm play
completely agree.
straight away. Like, I
Hmm.
don't think you would ever really think that the Japanese player is going to go for that straight away meta arm play and not commit so
Mm.
much to water. And then, even though Zain ended up, lost his fishing ships, he ended up winning water overall just from denying so many resources.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the
right.
gold collected for Rayzor is actually more than what Zayn collected in gold.
Bloody hell. Oh yeah, I suppose because he was probably like, oh shit, I've got like 30 idle, no, 20 idle villagers right now. That wood line's denied. That wood line's denied. That gold's not safe. Let's just send them all to the back gold, and that's
Exactly.
where they stayed for a big part of the game. So 3.5K gold collected for Rayzor. It's quite amusing. But massive villager lead for Zain, sitting pretty on 3 TCs. GG. We go to game 4. It's your turn to predict what map and civs it is,
Hmm.
by the way.
So if I was to predict map, I'm gonna say it's gonna, but it's Razor's Peak. But I have a 50-50 chance let's go with Cup.
Mhm.
And for Cup, well, they don't really have your stereotypical Cup civs. I mean, Britain's is often picked on Cup, but I would normally pick that for Quarry, but maybe Ray's is thinking of Vietnamese for Quarry and Britain's for Cup, and then Zayn with Vikings, I'd say.
Okay.
I don't think you really want to play Vikings on Bay because you don't get fire ships, and usually Bay is more of
Mm.
a fire ship orientated map.
Hmm.
Trying to see if we have a game, but I can't seem to find it anywhere.
Um, alrighty. Let me have a look.
If it was a Britons versus Vikings on Bay, who would you prefer?
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, on Cup. If it was Britons versus Vikings on Cup, which do you think would be preferred there?
Oh. Personally, I would prefer Vikings, but I'm also, as I know you are as well, terrified of Britons.
Yep.
So I definitely don't want to underestimate them.
It's that slow push as well. Like it's
Yeah. And it's just
like every time there's a Mangonel in the field, it's so unfortunate. Oh, but it's not gonna be
Yeah.
Cup. It's gonna be Bay, and
I'm
it's gonna
sorry
be.
to
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry to derail for a second, but Monty just gave me a whisker. Oh,
How cute.
thank you, Monty.
Treasure
Anyway,
it forever.
Saracen. Yeah. Saracens for Zain, Lithuanians for Rayzor on Bay.
I'm
So,
okay. I understand the Lithuanian pick. I think Lithuanian pick here is perfect.
yes. Yeah,
Saracen
agreed.
pick? I have no idea what Zane's planning for, and I'm excited to see what he's going for because normally you pick Saracens on maps where you can use their better
Mm.
galleys. You don't really pick them on maps where you can market abuse the living shit out of the game. Excuse the French. But I guess maybe the plan is to do that sort of market abuse. Maybe we'll see some sort of crazy FC from Zayn. Maybe we'll see a
Yeah.
Tatty rush and somewhat ignoring water. I'm excited to see what Zayn goes
Yeah.
for.
I kind of think it might be a case of ignoring water, and I know that anything I say could well and truly be highly inaccurate, but I think this could be a pretty legitimate kind of counter pick from Zayn against Razor's Lithuanians, right?
That's an interesting thought. So if we're talking land, I think Saracens have the tools to deal with Lithuanians. They get the
Yeah,
extra
same.
HP camels. They can go for light cav. They can also still match knights and castle if needed. And on water, arguably Saracens have the better overall tech tree.
Hmm.
But it's more in terms of uptime on the water, and Lithuanians can get such a crazy
Hmm.
economy lead. They do go for that wood first build, which I'm expecting Rayzor will go for.
Alrighty, well, we are about 17 seconds away.
And let me just get the predictions running for game number
Oh,
4.
let's go.
I had to choose outcome. That was Zain winning game 3.
Hazel too. Hello everybody in chat and Shadow's chat as well. We're jumping into game 4. Zain versus Rayzor. Zain is currently up 2-1. And Capture connects.
If you're predicting a victor for this map, who are you thinking?
Oh god, it's hard, isn't it?
Oh, look at that map actually. Sorry to just ask you a question then go to the map, but what the hell? Like, Rayzor just doesn't have a woodline along the top.
He doesn't know. Thankfully his golds are in a better spot. They're at the back, but he is extremely open. I'm gonna say Zain on this one, just based on what we've seen in the past 3 games.
I'm a little bit surprised that
other...
Zain is going. Sorry, not Zain. Rayzor is going for the sheep first. So usually, as with the Lithuanians, if you have like a hybrid map, you'll often go for either a lumber camp first or a straggler tree first, and then go for the dock really early. Whereas he's just going for, like, if you're playing it like this as Lithuanians, maybe you're planning like a 18 pop scouts, or you're planning to do something else with it. I can't really think what it would be.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. But you're right, they do start with, I believe, 150 extra food. Yeah, besides the lack of literally anything at the front of his base, at least his woodlands are safe, at least his main gold is well and truly safe.
I didn't notice that, but that's an amazing main gold. Like, you can defend it with like 3 layers of walls really comfortably.
Yeah, yep. So that's at least something. He's got something going for him there in the map. Zain, on the other hand, playing as Saracens. I love that he's done the sneaky little villagers chopping the wood line into lumber camp into protection on
it's
the
a
already
little bit of a double-edged sword though, isn't it? Like, if your opponent, I mean, it depends on how long it takes the villagers to chop through the wood. But if archers ever come here, you have to delete the lumber camp.
Yes, but I think based on the wood line that he's taken, it's safe. I don't think archers would ever get back there.
Look at this, Zain gonna be picking off
no.
Rayzor's villager. Looking like he's gonna try and quick wall it in, but I don't think it's gonna work. And
let's go quick walls.
Oh
yeah, he can. Oh no, are you kidding? That was janky ass.
You can't. Is he gonna get it?
No.
No.
Bloody
I feel
hell.
so bad for Rayzor there, losing that first villager. It's gonna slow his dock back so much.
But it's so smart from Zain. I can't not be impressed. And he just knows immediately to send the scout back because it's lower HP. Zain already up on Vil. Nice move. And now sending his Vil forward for the dock. So Rayzor still will get his dock up first. I'd love to see them take down Rayzor's scout, but it won't happen. Oh god, he's gonna bring the scout back. Come on, you can't do the old oopsie doopsie. Yeah.
that would have been one way of evening it out for Rayzor if Zain made a mistake there.
Yeah. Oh, the Vil down on the board. Rayzor, no. He didn't have enough villagers. He's down another Vil. Oh god.
Okay, so I think you might be right on your predictions for Victor of Game 4. I think Guy is on Zane's side here a little bit.
Yeah, not even. That's just
and he sent the villager back from the result.
Dock. Oh yeah.
He must have had a misclick there. He's getting loom.
Yeah.
Just kind of falling apart a little bit here.
Yeah, and that's just the repercussion of Zain sending his scout forward and Rayzor getting flustered because of that. He's oh no, rather that's Zain getting housed. Okay, we can
we can give him some passing here, but it is ideal. But the idle TC time for Rayzor currently sitting at 16 seconds, for Zain with 0. So honestly, he's 4 villagers ahead. Okay, it couldn't be going any worse for Rayzor if it tried. Not to curse Rayzor here. I'm sure that there is something that could go worse, but
yeah, that's the risky thing about sending a no-loom villager out without protection. Ooh, feels bad.
I was like looking at the board, thinking there might be another villager die on the board.
Oh no. All right, so Rayzor scout trying to chase Zain's getting an extra hit there, which is nice. Rayzor does have 2 fishing ships out, as does Zain. But Zain almost ready to click up. Rayzor is on 35. Oh no, okay, 33 food.
I think if I'm Rayzor here, it sounds really dumb and really greedy because it is. I honestly FC. Like, you can't have things
Yeah, I think so
cannot be
too.
going worse. FC
Yeah.
into some sort of YOLO Huang style push and see what you can make with it. Because I don't think, like, it may not sound like anything, like, I think on a land map you can recover from this a little more easily. On a water map, or hybrid map in this case, it snowballs too quickly.
Yeah, but I think it could even still snowball very quickly, because if he does do that, if he does go for the FC, Zane's going to be up quite fast, and he's going to take out the oh, okay, so the fishing ship. I was going to comment that Rayzor was continuing to commit. He queued a 5th fishing ship, but he did cancel that one. Zane now placing the 2nd dog, even walling it in, even though it has loom and the scouts there to protect. He protect, he attack, but most importantly,
You don't die.
that
didn't quite work, but
the boar got the whack. There we go. We got
oh, I
something.
love it.
Thank you. So yeah, he's placing farms down on his TC now. I think he is aware that he is going to be quite late. He's going to be 2 minutes behind on his feudal time. And let's hope for Zane's sake that he really makes use of the advantage that he has.
Well, he is going for the double dock approach. I'm not necessarily sure if double dock is necessary, but that's more. I think that's more because we know that he also lost a village of the war.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
But I don't know. On this map, like, winning, there's only like 6 piles of fish, basically. It's not worth fighting that much over. I prefer to move on to land pretty early. And you often see players go for the deer patches. And let's just talk about this. Rayzor didn't even find these 2 sheep with all this shenanigans going on.
Yeah. So Zane's found them and he's going to take them away, as you should, when there's a lot of money on the line, and this is a best of 7. Zane's up 2-1. He won't be able to pick this villager, but at least he sees that it's going forth to wall that side. And now he scouts. Is he going to try? He can't. There's no...
Nah, it's not a HP on the
you
scout.
can't.
But you can at least slow it from going up, just to be as annoying as possible.
Yeah.
It looks like Rayzor's sending a couple more villagers maybe to try and wall the scout in.
Oh god.
There's nothing to wall in.
He could wall it around the gold and then it would be walled in. I'd love to see that.
And Rayzor going for some galleys? Why? I feel that's a massive mistake.
Yeah, I feel like it is, because there's already 2 fire galleys on the field. Unless he thinks that he can just mass up enough in the dock and then deal with, but no, even then you can't.
In this situation, what I do is I make a demo ship and I try and nuke the enemy ships. Like, that's about as much value you get.
Wait. Yeah, you wait until they're just about to like destroy your dock and then huzzah. But no, he's making a 2nd galley now. He has walled somewhat into the TC and he's placing a barracks forward, so he hadn't even gotten a barracks down at this point.
Oh,
Zain using the market now. Saracen market. Let's go.
I think that'd be like some sort of 17-minute time. I think maybe Zane's actually selling it, half expecting Rayzor to be doing FC behind this. But it won't put him in a bad position either. It's not like going up for that super fast Saracen time is a bad play pretty much ever. And now Rayzor getting the scout wall 1, but a little bit of roasting on that
finally.
scouts.
Yeah. So Zane's up to castle now. Holy moly. And his wall is completely based Shadow.
1 fishing ship goes down for Rayzor, for Zain though. My chat mentioning that you can just make a couple of galleys and try and snipe the fish, and it seems to be working.
But still, he's going to lose them both very quickly, and Zane's still got 3 fish, 3 fire galleys, so even if he did lose any ships, he can just very easily replace them.
Do you think 2
but like you said,
galleys
there's not
is
that
worth
much
it
fish,
for 2 fishing ships?
No.
Because that could have been placed into a market. I mean, obviously you're facing Saracens, and the Saracens have the better markets than every other civ. But I think that's an option is you make market. We even see Rayzor going for 1 range of archers. He's getting fletching at 15 minutes. And Zain is a minute off of castle.
Yeah. This is so tough. And again, I'm just having flashbacks to game one where he's walled kind of almost into the TC. It's not going to take much if he does want to wall the front. And I kind of wish that he would, because I just hate to see whatever Zain is able to put on the field in terms of his land military just stroll in.
I mean,
Or even as
Assassins,
Assassins, you don't even need to. Like, if he does go for archers, they very easily break the wall. If he does go for cavalry, they very easily just run onto the TC.
And the good news is for Zain here, for Rayzor here, is that Zain is going to be going for those crossbows instead of the knights, so it won't be like he just dives straight away. 2 archers though coming forward here for Rayzor that will be annoying Zain's third range villagers. Going for CA.
Oh, please, yes. Saracen CA, the villager will be safe. The archers won't get into that main gold. So really nice walling from Zain over here on the right-hand side. And at least Rayzor now has the intel.
So Saracen CA used to actually be kind of legit because they got the bonus damage against buildings as well.
Oh.
Whereas nowadays they don't, and I'm very confused why we're opening CA here rather than going for crossbow.
Yeah.
I mean, mobility,
Yeah.
maybe?
Maybe? Maybe? Flexing? Maybe? No.
Flexing. I mean, the CA do have extra HP, so if you're opening against crossbow, for example, or small numbers of archers, you maybe can justify it, especially if you haven't trained any archers on the way up. But it feels strange to me. Because now Rayzor can just go for some skirmishes to defend this.
Yeah. There's going to be 2 rangers. He's got a lot of vills forward on the barriers that aren't safe. More CA coming in. Complete water control in Zain's favor. He's got a pretty hefty score lead at this point. Nice re-wall at the back wood from Rayzor. I really like that move. The wood line's still not safe, but I think it's a good precaution.
We do see Zain moving on the stone now as well, either to abuse the market more or to drop TCs. I honestly think I would rather see, I don't think it's necessary, but I would rather see Zain go for the more aggressive approach here. I don't necessarily think you want to risk Lithuanians getting to 4 relic knights, even if you do have amazing meme lukes and camels.
Mimalukes. So 4 skirms, 1 little archer, half HP, at least pushing the CA away. Stalling for a little
coming
bit.
in so early though. Like, it's
yeah, he did go very early
understated,
ballistics.
but I think it's super strong here. So it means that these small numbers of archers and skirms can't just take an easy fight here. And Rayzor will need elite skirm for these are that effective against the CA anyway.
Yeah, it's such I honestly feel like elite skirm is so expensive, and he's going for the second TC instead.
I don't like crossbow here. Like,
yeah.
That feels very strange to me. Lithuanian skirms are faster, so they can sort of force fights against these CA anyway. You can get ballistics at some point, and you can get to +2 defense, and then the CA aren't actually doing that much damage. Maybe he's expecting camels behind it, I don't know. Yeah,
perhaps. Perhaps it was just big brain thinking 2 steps ahead, but he needed to just think the 1 step ahead, you know?
Exactly. We do see Zain adding a siege push up on some mangonels though.
It's so far away.
It's a little bit.
Like if you're gonna build a siege workshop, I just
it's like in that position where it's like it doesn't really do anything to defend, it doesn't do anything to attack.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's quite central, so like if it has to defend, it's gotta go the same distance as if it's gonna be aggressive. It's amusing at least. So the CA, there is currently 15 of them down here, still just fiddle skirms, couple of expo. I don't think this from Rayzor is too threatening, but I understand that Zain would be wanting to reserve his numbers because he doesn't know what's in these archery ranges and how much is in there.
He also
so I suppose he just wants to stall for the mango
on these CA as well, so they're a little bit squishier than than a lot of other units.
Yeah. +3, hello, you make a good point. Zain doesn't have enough vills on food to go camels, but he doesn't need to go camels. Like, I don't think that's ever been his plan this game so far. So I think he's got his eco set up perfectly well for exactly what he wants to do.
The 2 farms and 3 fishing ships will carry the Saracens through this game.
Ooh, good hit. Yeah.
Oh, the CA getting in. They're gonna be idling and
Oh, they can
killing
do
so many
so
villagers,
much
and
damage here. They're gonna
Rayzor's
get
not
all these
reacting in
woodline
time.
kills with ballistics as well. Does take more than one
Oh,
hit. Great hit on the expo. Oh, this is game. It's got to be. And
oh.
another one. He's out. He's 7
nine,
military.
9 pop.
No, not quite 9 pop. 9 military pop.
That reminds
That
me of
was a
some
beautiful little moment for Zain.
mangonel hits on certain skirms
Don't
from Little
don't say it.
Trouble. Use the
Don't
rip
say it.
command in Little Trouble's chat,
Don't
guys.
say it. Do not type exclamation
Oh.
mark rip. He says rip. He says
I loved that clip so much.
rip.
Oh, the KD is interesting. Oh man.
It's something, isn't it?
36-7. Poor Rayzor there.
Well,
It
those
just
last two
snowballed from that
mega
very
shots.
awkward beginning.
You couldn't have had a worse start for Rayzor, really. And credit to him, he did well to just try and stay in the game. But when you're so far behind so early on in the game, it's just always going to be tough. So game 4 goes to Zain, who is now up 3-1, one win away from taking the title here.
But one big kudos to Rayzor for having double or almost doubled the exploration of Zain. Zain not scouting much of the map there, surprisingly.
Exploration sometimes wins games, so that's very
Sometimes. Sometimes not taking a big mangonel hit at this
yeah,
point
or
of the
two.
game.
Yeah, sometimes that wins games. Anyway, so let's see where we're at for our civs available, for our maps available, for all the fun stuff. That's a win for Saracens.
I love the Saracens pick. I wouldn't have thought about it.
Yeah.
It's just very intriguing. I don't necessarily know that it makes sense every time, but in that situation, it really did the trick.
Yeah, and what I really like about Saracens in a tournament, like in this situation, is that you really don't know what to expect because they have different avenues to take. And if you aren't in a position to scout what your opponent is doing, you don't know what avenue they are taking. So they do have the element of surprise, especially when they surprise you with a super fast castle time, and then surprise you with CA. Yeah, I think it's a really
the CA
thing.
was so interesting. Like I would never have thought CA there.
Yeah.
So we do have, I think it's Cup as the last map. Yeah, Cup is the final map for Rayzor, and you know how I said it might be Vikings versus Britons? I actually think Zane's drafted this perfectly. I just realized what the plan might be. Goths into Britons.
Oh, please. Please, Lord, doubt hear my prayer. Please give me Goths into Britons.
I mean, I think Vikings are super strong on Cup as well, but if you are predicting Britons, yes, Britons do have the tools to deal with Goths, but it's not a matchup you particularly want to play, especially with the rest of the games that have been going on so far.
So, does Rayzor then out big brain Zain and go Byzantines instead?
Oh, I would love it.
Is that ever a thought? You know?
I don't know, because the thing is, I think if you risk
it's a risk.
Byzantines into... Actually, to be fair, none of the other civs are like exactly counter Byzantine civs. Like Byzantines have the tools to deal with the Vikings.
Shadow, nothing counters Byzantines. Come on.
True. I think Khmer can be a bit of an awkward matchup. And humans can have a window of opportunity. So maybe Byzantines, like, it's not necessarily what you plan to go for, but I think it could be so strong as an option to try and win game 4 or 5 even.
Yeah, I just think if your opponent has Goths, I would just never feel safe picking Britons. And I think Byzantines can counter Goths quite well. So,
Still trying to see if we can find the game, but no luck
I
just
don't
yet.
see it just yet. Yeah, same.
I can't even find the lobby though, so...
Oh, okay. So, in chat, let me know. Do you think this will be the last game we see? Do you think Zain can take the win here? Or do you believe in Rayzor?
I think Rayzor wins this and Zain wins the next game. That's my prediction.
Okay. Okay.
I believe in
don't
Rayzor.
know. It'll completely depend on the civs for me with what I say.
It depends. Set up here.
Yeah. The auto bypass is the one with the path in the middle, yes. It's kind of hideout, but with a sneaky little avenue.
I'm
Why do I
still
like that word so
really
much right
like
now?
I want to pick Zane's brain on the human speaking because like even if we don't see it, I
Mm.
want to know what the plan was. This is
Yeah, I
it's so
agree.
confusing to me.
Yeah. So multiplayer Tim says, think Zayn takes this game, he's looked dominant outside of game 2. Yeah, I agree. I think the games that Zayn has won have been more one-sided than the one that he lost. So I think that just goes to show that he is on point tonight. Um,
But
and I don't want to discredit Rayzor though, because he has absolutely stepped up as well and kept up. And you can just kind of see and feel the determination and the perseverance from him in his games so far, which I really, really respect.
absolutely, we do have a game by the way, and it's gonna be
Oh,
Vikings versus Italians. Rather surprisingly,
oh, I prayed for gods.
I don't know, like Italians versus Vikings, so that should, in theory, favor Italians on the water. Italians one of the strongest civs, and I don't necessarily know that on up it's that easy to get to longboats when your opponent's got those Italian fire ships. Vikings
Mm.
don't even get fire ships. So actually, surprisingly, I like this for Rayzor.
Okay, okay. Well, it
And
was absolutely not what we were guessing for the civs. We've got a one minute until we're in. Hello, Mars, and hello, Daniel. My co-caster, for anybody that is not familiar with the beautiful voice, this is ShadowCrystallux. Fellow Aussie. We got two Aussies casting the Aussie legends with two Aussies in the grand final as well. So Australia represent. Australia.
we'll also be playing in the Oz Open soon as well as the team
Yeah!
third wheel.
Team Third Wheel, let's go. Yes, with it's called Team Third Wheel because Salted is playing with us and he's not Australian, so he's kind of third wheeling on the Australian Open Australian team party. Clearly. Um But yeah, we are playing in the Aussie Open 3v3. It's still got signups open, so grab your friends, sign up. You don't have to be Australian. Salted's an example of that, but do sign up. The map pool is awesome. It's going to be some really fun games. But let's focus on Outback Legends. Big shout out to Desi for making this happen, for Jordan for the adminning. He's been working his little butt off. And we're going to jump into game number 5.
So the thing with
On
Cup is I'm always surprised by how close the TCs are to the shoreline.
Yeah.
No matter
It's
how
so
many times I've
close.
seen it, every single time I was like, wow, that's close to the short line.
Mm. I just want to say, okay, it's really stupid observation from me, but have a look at Rayzor's stone, South Stone, and have a look at Zane's right main gold, and his stone. They're in the
Oh.
shape of a cup.
Alright, alright.
You see?
I can see it. It's like a goblet from the Goblet of Fire.
It's a goblet. Yes. Totally intentional. Totally worth mentioning. But as Shadow said, our civs for Rayzor in the teal is Italians. For Zain over on the right-hand side in green, he's got Vikings.
And surprisingly, both players having a lot of back resources. I'm a little bit surprised by this. And
Is that not usually the case?
I mean, for Cup, often you will see like one kind of forward-ish gold, one forward-ish stone. Like you do see like some back.
Mm.
They are kind of far from the TC though.
Mm. But even Zayn having a relic so close, two relics so close, Razor's got one, but they're not as close. But it's just like, here, have all your resources in a beautiful spot, nice and safe. Have some relics as well. Would you like that?
And Zayn also really having the golds favoring him. Like, let's just talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Razor's third and fourth
Where
golds are
is it?
closer to him than Razor's third gold is. Razor's third gold is just so far away, it's ridiculous.
Why does Zayn have
Oh,
an
wait,
extra gold? Is
This
there
is-
only one neutral gold and it's basically on Zayn's map?
Actually, give me 1 second. Wait, is that Razor's secondary gold? That's Razor's one. Like what?
I know, that's the
That's
I'd
the
call
closer to
3.
Zayn that is to Rayzor.
It is, like, legitimately.
That's a really bizarre spawn. I've never seen
So
that
this
on
is the
COD.
neutral, yeah. The neutral one's top left and top. Is he just... That is whack.
That's a really, especially in
That is
game
so whack.
5 of a tournament
I
where
know,
you're
and
trying to
he's down
survive.
3-1. Oh,
I'm not
mad
sure if
packs for
that would
Zain.
necessarily be bugged, but it's pretty disgusting.
We call it, yeah. Yeah, and it sucks that, like, I don't know, is he gonna be scouting his map being like, bro, where the hell is my third gold? Admin re, or is he just gonna play the game?
Mm.
I would call admin re, but I think he might just be like, oh, I don't know, maybe I got confused and you don't get a secondary, like a third gold on cup, and so he doesn't say anything. But shame.
But I'm not even sure if it like. So I'm not sure on the way admin re works, but I think it's normally if it's a bugged spawn. I don't
I would
necessarily
call
think.
that a bug spawn.
See,
Wouldn't you?
I get you, but I don't necessarily think it is a bug spawn. 'Cause I think it is within the maximum number of
Oh
tiles for
wow.
TC.
Okay, so it just sucks.
Yeah, I think it just sucks. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know it could be within that range. That's so far away.
Both players opting for a drush here though, and that's quite common on this map. You end up seeing both players going for a drush instead of going for a dock because you are
Yeah.
worried about a drush coming away and disrupting the fishing ships. Or sending the vills onto the little bog islands type. What is this called? Shallows? Mangrove shallows?
Yeah, something.
Something along those lines.
Like,
The
something like that.
walkable water, we'll call it.
Okay.
But you often do see the players setting some villages, making a mill for it.
Yeah. So 2 militia, third one on the way from Zain. Third one now being queued up for Rayzor. Sorry if I'm distracted. My cat's trying to kill my sock.
I mean, that's half the fun, right?
Engagement here, but sadly for Rayzor. Yeah, didn't get his third militia there in time.
I would send those villagers.
So...
I know you're sending them for the fish. I would send them to.
Yeah, send him over left.
Send the boys and the girls.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean, he's getting loom now. Like, he
Rayzor
might think about it.
Risky with the scout.
Still gonna be, yeah.
It's gonna be an absolute cleanup here. Although, if we can snipe the scout, that would be really good value for Rayzor.
Oh, here we go. Let's do some good micro. Move that one out of the way.
And instead of the villager to try and help, maybe not, maybe. I
kind of wish he did.
I think just
send
one villager, like.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a bit of idle time, but you win the fight, and now all of a sudden Zain doesn't have anything to scout with.
Yeah, at least Rayzor did get loom there. Good move. Fruitfist reckons we call it mangrove.
Mangrove, I think that's the term for it. And the thing is, here on I actually kind of like Italians here again, because we see Rayzor going for the not shortfish, the fish that are in the middle. So he's going to have the better economy. And then Italians also have the cheaper age ups. I think both players might be considering Drush FC here. Zane's not anywhere near clicking up. Rayzor could
I love his walls.
It's abstract.
It's open at the front, but
it's abstract.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. He's got 2 very safe golds. His main is not safe, but that's okay. I like his walls.
And Rayzor's walls also are maybe a little bit abstract, but I think his makes sense as well. It's just one of those maps where you either get a map that you can wall very easily, or it's a map that it's like, how the fuck do I wall this? And I think Rayzor has the map that's like...
Again, yeah!
like, how the hell do I map wall this?
And
so Zane's one militia. Oh, bit of a pause happening.
Yeah. Sending the one militia in.
So if it ends up being a Drush FC war, Italians technically have the better economy going into Castle Age. Of course, Vikings long-term have the much better economy with the free-hand cart and wheelbarrow. But Italians can opt for some nasty fast imp shenanigans as well. So,
it would be great.
I have to say again, I really do think Rayzor has a good shot here. And then long-term, Italians get the better archers. Their imp is amazing.
Hmm.
And Vikings kind of have a window of opportunity where they want to use their better economy to overrun a civ like Italians.
Yeah, but he is racing against the clock. Absolutely. And I really like that Rayzor is taking the fish and he's got one safely, going for the second one safely, and there's really no fight back from Zain here. So that's really good to see. Both of them clicking up. Rayzor a little bit ahead. I was about to say at a very similar time, but a little bit of an advantage there for Rayzor with the cheaper uptime.
I think one thing to consider though for Zain is that if he does manage to get the docks up on this left pool and gets a not like overcommits to longboats because otherwise you get overrun on land, but gets enough longboats out, it's very hard to push back on water without any water military. And of course, Italians have amazing water military, but if there's already lots of longboats on the field, it can then be hard to secure the extra golds, and that could be a win condition for Zain.
Yeah, he's gonna bother the fish. The villagers on the fish. I love that. Just those little things, and that's what players at this level can do so well.
It's so
They
tilting.
just have the APM. Yeah. There's another hit. Love it.
This is like
Gotta get the value.
Okay,
Yeah.
the villagers
And then it
managed to get
pulls
one
them
hit
from the
in,
fish.
and 2 hits
Yeah,
in
there's
that
number 2.
villagers getting whacked back. Gonna be tit for tat, as I'd say.
Tit for tat, whack 'em back. Alright, so feudal age now for Rayzor. Gonna place some buildings back, I assume, at this idle village, or maybe, perhaps.
And
Zain
Rayzor
up
is pushing his deer
Oh, no,
as
just
well.
balls.
I think
Yeah, I
that
love it.
Zain already took all of his deer with the mill over there.
He did, yeah. Finishing them off now. Blacksmith at the back, and it's going to be a range at the front. Should be seeing the same here for Rayzor, but I only see the blacksmith.
Yeah, just a little bit of wood lacking at the moment.
Yep.
So he will have to make 1 extra villager, so Zain will have the faster cast sledge, assuming he has just enough food to pick up here. I think he
Which
does.
he will very soon. And it's so good that that militia is still walking around because now he sees the range. I mean, you could guess it anyway, right? But it's just so good to have that
Italians
scouting.
can open knights as well, but I don't necessarily think you would on this map.
Yeah.
And especially, like, Drush SC knights, just the eco for it sucks, is all I'll say. So 20 seconds advantage here for Zain. I don't necessarily think 20 seconds, though, is enough time to really capitalize on anything here.
Yeah, it's not massive.
But he does have that one militia advantage that we can't
Let's
overstate.
not forget. Exactly. I see Rayzor sending a villa at the left-hand side, scout there to protect her.
Looks like it might... It's either a dock or it's a siege workshop, and my prediction is a dock.
I think a dock. I find it so interesting that yeah, he's waiting for the wood. That Zain hasn't bothered with water this game.
I sort of understand it, because the thing is that Italians obviously have the fire galleys, but Vikings don't. So you have to either be willing to commit all the resources needed to get the galley upgrades, or you have to be willing to get longboats. And longboats are obviously a beast unit, but you do need quite a lot of res to get a decent number of them out. Something I'd love to see from Rayzor, though, is just, like, it's unnecessary, but I want to see a double on these 3 archers.
Yeah, yeah, it's so unnecessary, but also very nice.
Very much, very fun.
I just want to see him wall the front of his base. One game, wall the front of your base.
Although, to be fair here, when you're against archers specifically... Oh, the demo's coming! But when you're against archers specifically, I understand not needing to wall the front of your base so much.
True, that is a good call.
And Vikings, 99 times out of 100 are not going to open knights in this situation. Siege pressure going down straight away from Rayzor. Is this overcommitment? I mean, it's going to be 1 range to 2. Demo!
Don't hit the forward one. No, don't hit that one. Good. Expo just... Ooh, good
Nice
little
little
split.
split, though. I'm not even sure
damage
if
on the
2
third.
crossbows is worth it, though, to be honest, for the demo.
I don't think so. It was just such a good reaction from Zain.
I guess it also, though, it does make you a little bit more worried about walking on that left-hand side, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's why I'd be regretting not having a dock.
We do see a forward siege matchup coming from Zain, though. Second TC going down for Rayzor.
At least now he knows he's just got to walk over the bottom side.
The thing is, as Rayzor's already dropped a siege shot, this could be much worse for Rayzor. And as he has dropped a second TC, he can start to get a bit of a build lead. But again, Viking economy is just disgusting.
Yeah, seriously.
Not sure about getting the War Galley upgrade. Like, let's be clear here. Rayzor doesn't have fletching yet, let alone any other
Oh, and he's got
upgrades.
one galley. Another one in the queue, but yep.
Maybe a little bit of an overcommitment for the moment. And like, if you're going for fires, that makes sense. Like, because obviously you don't really need many upgrades for them. But maybe it's just a tiny bit questionable. Although going for that dock, I really do like to see.
Yeah, dock in the second pond. If we can call it a pond.
I don't even know what you'd call. It's like we can call this 2 lakes or cup as a proper name, but 2 lakes. That'll be the in-game version of it.
Yeah. Next one in the ranked map for 2 lakes. You heard it here first. So there is a defensive Scorpion. The TC down there is nice to protect the eco as well, but the Mangonel out from Zain could be a troublemaker. There is a Mangonel out from Rayzor as well, right on cue.
I honestly like this position for Rayzor. Like, there's just it's just a Mangonel, there's a few crossbows, and you know what deals with all this?
I like it
Your own
too.
siege.
Yeah.
As long as the
like it
micro isn't complete potato.
And he is placing his third TC
really
now.
nice
Oh,
micro.
not potato at all. Beautiful. Barely took damage on his Mangonel. 4 HP down. Third TC going up in a beautiful spot at the back as well. Zain also going for 3 TCs, but he's a little bit behind. But of course, it is Viking Eco. He's 6 fills behind as well. So I agree. I like Rayzor's spot.
I like Rayzor's spot against any other civ. Like,
yeah.
I mean, against Vikings, if Rayzor hits him first, and I think he will, even with Viking Eco being as strong as it is, I'm a little bit questioning the second dock on this right-hand side. I understand the first dock, the second dock may be a bit questionable.
Yeah, like he's not producing from that dock on the south currently, so I feel like 2 docks might be overkill. I don't think it's necessary just yet. But I really like that he's using his war galleys patrolling well, not patrolling just yet, but guarding the outer edge of Zane's base.
And the nice thing about War Galleys is they do get a bonus damage against buildings, so even though there's no fletching or anything else on these War Galleys, they can be really annoying on your building.
Wow, a 4th dock?
Why?
Why? Yeah, it's very interesting.
Although Rayzor is very heavy on stone, which is indicating that he wants to go for castles. I'm not sure where he wants his first one. I'm guessing his first one might be at home, his second one maybe in this gold area.
Well, the Scorp lived. Alright, great hit on the expo there. We're looking down south, 2 Mango.
That's a bit of a split as well, but good damage there for Rayzor, who's probably pretty happy with his position, to be honest.
I think he should be too. He's got score lead. That's got to give him a little bit of confidence. He's doing kill the Vil there.
Attack round, that poor woman. Getting bullied by the Mangonel.
Seriously. Yeah, so I feel like the military-wise, it's 12-8 in Rayzor's favor. Also, Rayzor having the villager high, 61-53. And yeah, I just feel like he's in a good spot. Zain hasn't really put up anything that's too scary at this stage. There's just the expo walking around, not even being able to find damage. And 1 Mangonel.
It was really interesting. So Rayzor sent 23 on stone and then now sent some more to wood. But like the way he was making it look, it was almost looking like he wanted 2 or 3 castles, like almost like a castle creep to go for like an all-in play. So like I'm a little bit confused as to what Rayzor's planning here. Like 23 on stone is like it's quite a commitment. You're obviously wanting a castle up before you're going for any more additional farms and eco and whatnot.
Let's just go big ballsy castle drop. Oh, Zain getting the hit on the mango there, so the siege workshop will stay alive, and now the expo might have a chance at moving in. But yeah, who is it? Jordan makes a good comment in chat. It says the longer this goes on, the better it is for Zain as Vikings. He reckons this is good for Zain. And I think you've got a point, Jordan. Like, I think Rayzor's in a decent spot, but he is very much just playing not awfully aggressively at the moment, and I think that is just going to help Zain out later on. Castle's very central in the map, like as central as it can be, basically.
I don't know if I don't hate it.
Yeah.
But it seems a little strange to me. I'd either place it on the left or I would place it like
Yeah,
on the
right?
production
Like
or something like
protects
that.
that
I wouldn't
gold.
place it.
Yeah.
This is one of the, it's a bit like the how we talked about 2TC play before, where it's like it's kind of
Mm,
like it's halfway between the two and it doesn't really do
yeah.
anything. And like the tower as well in game
Yeah.
3.
Game 3, yes, I think. Hmm. The Expo's still not finding any damage, but Zain is picking up relics. He's expanding north. He's found
And
some
he's
extra
imp
gold and
as well
stone.
at a really insane time.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yep. He only has his few eco upgrades at the moment, besides having what's it called?
Handcuff.
Handcart. Thank you. And did get the convert on the ship there. That was a really quick convert.
Usually with ships it takes a lot longer as well, and the nice thing
Yeah.
here for Zain is if he does go and use this ship for a bit of exploration, we might even see the castle. We do see a couple of stables going down for Rayzor and a monastery. Is this
I love
planning?
the expansion here.
Is this gonna be like an all-in castle age? The thing is, Zain doesn't have the military to deal with it yet. So if Rayzor gets to enough military quickly enough, an all-in castle age could be deadly. But if he doesn't get that snowball going quite quickly, it will just be over.
Yeah, and I think Zane's having a really good reaction here. He realizes, okay, maybe I can't do anything through the center of the map through the water. I'm just gonna go around the edges. Like he's Razor's committed to the middle. Maybe he's not gonna be able to defend too well. So C2 workshop 2 rangers down on the right hand side.
And then that castle in a really nice defensive position on the gold and the stone
Yeah.
expansion. Arb and Rayzor coming in for Zain as well, but only 7 crossbows, so a few even plus
Yeah,
one
but I
defense
think that'll
knights.
soon change. Razor's got a really nice villager lead, 92 to 74. Getting some cavalry upgrades, creating some knights.
You know what this is
But
gonna be
here
for
come the
Zain?
villagers move-
Zain's gonna go like he's
Yeah.
dropping a range, but he's gonna drop a castle on his right hand side, and it's gonna be like that's gonna be a killing move.
Ooh.
I don't necessarily know that Rayzor was expecting Zain to be up at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of us were, right? He's getting capped ram. Viking siege and obelisk push is going to be so beautiful to see.
Would love to see conscription coming in for Zain. It's a small thing, but it will help these ARP numbers come in even quicker.
Yeah, that's true. When he's got that many rangers and he just wants to get his numbers down here on the bottom right side, I agree.
Have a look at the numbers. So 6 knights on the field for Rayzor. He needs them in this position now, but he needs more than 6. He needs about 10 and then he can clean this fight up. But he's gonna have to sacrifice this TC.
Yeah, and it's going down very quickly, just to the one ram, the mangonel as well. Scorpion's going to go down quickly as well. The obelisks with their imp upgrades, they've got brace, so they're going to get their defense, going to have some nice range on them, and this is going to be really bothersome if Rayzor can't deal with this, because this is just going to build and build and build until there's just a death ball of orbs and siege.
No ballistics just yet though, so the ARBs are missing every single shot possible.
Yeah, I kind of like that where Razor's moving his knights.
It's almost as if
Sending
he's
them back
wanting to
the
try and
mangonel.
take the vills out in the castle, but he's not going to get there in time. He's just going for the mangonel and the ARBs here. He probably won't delete the mill yet, and
Yeah,
should
beautiful.
be able to win this fight.
I think this will be good for him. Unless the Alj can make it back to the castle, which I think they will in time, but at least he gets some kills on them there. Forces them to take it easy, back off a bit. I hear more relics being picked up by Zain. Trebuchet from that castle. Holy dooly.
It's so hard to defend this position for Rayzor though, because he is an imp.
Yeah.
So he has to try and take somewhat suboptimal fights with these knights, and he needs to get these knights to do value ASAP, really. Oh, the knights are coming in though, and the villagers are trying to hurry up a castle.
Yes.
Oh,
This
that's
is what I
gonna
wanna
be a
see.
lot
This
of
is
dead
kind of damage.
villagers.
Yeah.
That's actually more damage to Zane's economy than
Yeah.
that what
100%.
Zane is
Yeah.
done to Rayzor's economy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that's a
Elite skirmisher
16
reaction coming in as
villagers
well.
dead.
Wow. Yeah. Eco KD 17 to 5 in Razor's favor. So I really like this reaction. I love that he sent the knights down here.
And we do see another TC going down for Zain. He's going to be walling out the remaining knights. But the TCs going down for Rayzor is not ideal either. Maybe...
Yeah.
So, something I've seen before is if you can get to like 5 or 6 mangonels, or like 6 or 7 scorpions, you can no longer just rely on consistently out-microing them even with ARBs.
Yeah.
So that could be an option. I do like the elite scum as well, but his food economy just isn't there yet, and he doesn't really want to be diving these TCs for too long against the Bracer and Chemistry TCs. But there is one on food for Zain at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. At least he's got this castle up top. We said it was a kind of a... Some people commented it was kind of a bad position, but I think now it's going to be okay. At least it's something. I don't know where to look. Things are happening everywhere, but I think it's just... Oh, I was going to say, so good for Zain that he has that trap there, but he doesn't any longer. Hopefully the knights can get some good hits here. The Arbs don't want to fight it. The castle fire is going to help out, but still, I think this is pretty good for Rayzor. Just that little engagement there, as long as he runs now.
The thing is,
Using the market.
For Zain right now, like, because he did take so much eco damage, like, even though ARBs are much easier to produce than knights in a situation, if you are under this sort of pressure, it is one of those situations where your numbers are constantly getting thinned out. Your opponent's making counter units with the knights and these skirms. And the longer that Rayzor can hold on here, the more chance I think he has of winning, especially with that middle.
Yeah, it's so tricky though, because Zain's on five TCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 TCs, 3 castles. Rayzor now just on the 1 TC, and he's still a long way from Imp. So I think, like Jordan said, the longer this is in, the longer this game goes, the better for Zain, because he can still just produce 1 treb and very slowly but surely push out. But at least this, where we're currently at, is giving Rayzor time to continue making skirms, and that's going to be his defense at home for now.
Did see a lot of market abuse there for Rayzor, which does actually... So even though Zain at the moment can't take advantage of that, long term he can. If that food price is still ridiculously high. So the play here for Rayzor, in my opinion, is either he needs to try and risk idling everything to get up, or he goes, like, he commits harder forward siege workshops with rams and whatnot. Like that, or he does go for the slightly greedier idle everything to Imp. What would you kind of prefer to go for here as Rayzor?
I think I like what he's doing. Well, he's just now buying the food. He's just gone Imp, but I do like that he's just moving his eco as he needs to keep it alive as best he can and just move to the side out of danger. Gives him time to get some skirmisher numbers to defend, because I don't think Zain has anything to deal with skirmishers at this point. So I think that'll give Rayzor a little bit of time to re-stabilize. And look at his gold control in the center. Holy moly.
I love it. He's literally mining every single gold pile except for 1.
Yeah, and Rayzor sending the knights in again. So I just really like how he's playing this. He's making it really tough for Zain. I think Zain, still as Vikings, has potential. He's still got the treb out. He can still be a pain.
I am a little bit nervous though. If Zain was to target the TC instead, it was only 1 hit from being a doubt TC.
Yeah.
Doubt Imperial Age, shall we call it?
Doubt Imp, yeah. Good spotting. Because that is his only TC. It's not like, oh, we'll just click Imp in your back TC. No, that's all he's got. So he sends the skirms out, but I feel like he needs to put them in a better position in case the ARBs do decide to move forward, trying to deny that TC.
I would love to see Rayzor. I know that he's still got the tech disadvantage here, but I would love to see that these skirms and the knights try and get an engagement here. The skirms, obviously, trying to make it so the ARBs can't just bow down the knights, and the knights then take the treb. I feel like if in this sort of position, you don't want to have to be buying stone right now. You want to be making sure that you have the economy to essentially do anything. What is happening here? Why is there so many knights and skirms here and not in this forward area? I dislike this very much.
There's 1 villager. No. Yeah, I think that's a big misplay actually, because I think Rayzor's gonna lose the castle now, where it could have been saved. Send the skirmishers forward, brings the knight in from the other side, and yes,
And the
He does
castle is
make
also
the
getting
trip in.
pressured on the other side as well, so it's not like he's getting pressured in just one area. We do see Bracer coming in. I wonder if it's hard. So +4 defense, you have the Knights, obviously the power unit, but the skirms are sort of needed to deal with these arbs.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, imagine if he just ran the knights in right now to those 2 trebs at the south. Yeah, he's a sitting duck at the moment. I don't know whether he's waiting for his upgrades, but he's got a long time to wait, and I think he's going to lose too much of his defense if he does try and wait. So he needs to run in, snipe that treb at the top, run in, had sniped those trebs at the bottom.
You just
Not gonna
never want to be in
happen
this position where you're diving 2 castles with even 30 or 40
Yeah.
knights, because it is just one of those situations where even though you won't lose your entire army, you will lose a lot of HP. You will lose a couple of your numbers.
Oh, longboats at the top from Zain. Holy moly, this game, I really don't know where to look. There's things happening all over the place at all times. There's a second TC going up top for Zain, for Rayzor. But the longboat surprise, that could destroy all those bills on the gold.
And especially because it's not like Rayzor's mining more gold at the moment so he can get into the castle up. Like, this is his only castle. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think that this castle protects this gold enough, especially with some knights. That being said, it doesn't happen very often. Knights, if they do engage on these longboats, will shred them once they're in melee range.
True. True.
Bombard cannons now coming up for Rayzor will be very, very necessary. And we do see Elite Berserk coming in, though.
No, that's Elite Longbow.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
it is Elite Longbow.
But I see a Berserk on the field.
I would be taking this fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
When
maybe
Rayzor's
like wanting to go for Fire Galleons?
Galleon? He's getting Galleon.
I actually don't know how to counter longboats properly, so I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, the skirm's just sitting ducks at Rayzor's base. The trebs go down because of the longboats. It's like Rayzor's got the military, but it's just never in the right spot. He has got a bombard tower. Bombard cannons too. Trying to deal with what's down at the south. He has some skirms there to protect, so that is a relief, but it's just painful to see. It's painful to see this military not being picked.
And we gotta remember here that Zain has 5 castles, so even at the point where, if let's just say Rayzor is managing to push back, he's got a long way to push back. It's not just like a small amount. And he's still dealing with that push with the castle on the right. He does have access to this main gold still, again, and he does have access to the secondary gold and the stone to the left. So I would not count him out just yet, but it is looking a little bit rough for him now. Cavalier trying to get in on the right-hand side. Skirms will be trying to deny the walls from going up. Looks like they will succeed. Yeah,
they will get in, which is a relief. So it's at least forcing the obs to stay back. But like you said, he's got so many castles, he's got so many TCs. Zain's now a hidden village account, and Rayzor is housed. So I think this was such an interesting change from Zain to go into the longboats now, and to be able to, with the trebuchets, push Rayzor out of the middle.
I love the longboats too. I think that, like, memes aside, I think that was exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, for real.
Now the Arbs getting amazing engagement on the Cavalier. It's not even an engagement, the Cavalier just can't path anywhere. They're trapped in their own little area, and Rayzor is trying to find a way of getting them out, but he will not find a way of getting them out. This might be the game-ending move.
No, I mean the skirms are coming, but they're gonna be... Will they be there in time, and will they target the Arbs?
Rather than the villager and then dying to the castle. Yeah.
Okay, so the skirms were finally in the right spot at the right time, which is a relief. Sheep. And that's 5 bombard cannons from Rayzor down south, so...
And they can deal with those longboats pretty comfortably. Like, a triple kill. Although that being said, you do have to be super careful with the bombard cannons, because if they ever get in range of the longboats, well, guess what? Longboat bombard cannon. Even the cheap Italian bombard cannons.
I'm so sad for Rayzor at the moment, like losing all of his skirms. Every single skirm is now dead.
And the bombard cannons are like, even though the bombard cannons are killing these longboats, it's not really a good trade, honestly.
No, like they're going down as well. The longboats have great range. And that's almost another one that's going to bite the dust. The cavalry might get the snipe on the 3 trebs. I see 3 militia on the
Trying
field
to
as well,
clean
which
up the
is
ships
beautiful.
again. If they do get an engagement, they do eat the ships pretty decently.
Yeah. So great damage on the ships there. Bombard cannons against the trebs. So it's all right,
The
but
militia!
I'm still really worried.
There was 4 militia there
Yeah.
aiding in the fight there. We have some more pikemen coming out for Zain. Honestly, all we're missing now is a berserk switch for this to be complete.
I'm really scared for the bombard cannons. I'm really scared for...
One getting
I don't know.
absolutely eaten.
Oh, it's just
Hussar
so
coming
tricky.
out though. And that's one thing that Rayzor can cling to here is that Italians get Hussar and Vikings barely get light cap.
True, but Vikings still have that big, like decent sized massive arbs, and already teched into pikes.
But then you can just use my... it's difficult. If there wasn't 5 castles around, Hussar
Yeah,
can do
exactly.
so much damage, and especially if Rayzor had
Yeah.
amazing food economy behind this.
I love this from Zain, sending the pikemen into the galleons. Pikemen have bonus damage against ships, so they will flatten those ships.
But they do have the Hussar meat shield. Like, this is one of the reasons I love these sort
Yeah.
of mangrove-y type maps, because like you see compositions that we would never see anywhere else. Like, if you would tell me that this game would come down to Galleon, Hussar, Skirm, with some bomber cannons against longboats, pikes, and arbs,
Yeah.
I would have laughed.
Yes. I have to say, I love the stone walls from Zain here.
Just
Genuinely, like that is beautiful. Oh, but this little engagement in the middle while the massive pike and arbs are trying to
the
move away.
villagers. I guess
Yeah.
it obviously isn't affecting Zain too much. He's got plenty more where that came from. But it's a little bit ugly.
Yes, and the skirmishers are just fighting the dock. From what I can see, there's so much to focus on for both these players. I just can't even imagine playing a game like this.
The funny thing here is that the skirmishers, obviously, as a ranged unit, will often be on the back. But in this situation, having them on the front is actually such a nice meat shield because they take a little bit less
Yeah.
damage from the longboats. They don't take as much damage from the pikes.
And I have to say, like, numbers are close. It's 119 bills for Rayzor, 126 for Zain, 43 military for Zain, 61 for Rayzor. So it feels like it still could go either way, but I just love the defense from Zain. He's got the stone walls, he's got castles everywhere, TCs everywhere, got control of some gold.
The thing is, though, so Italians get better trash, they get better archers if they do up taking into it overall, due to having PVs. And cheap bombard cannons can make you snowball a fight here, especially with the numbers of galleons that we're seeing now.
Yeah, nice little pushback we're seeing from Rayzor. About 300 difference in the score in Zane's favor, and I see some Hussar being sent into the eco. Holy
Siege ram.
moly.
The thing is, the siege ram isn't necessarily to clean buildings here. Siege ram is actually an amazing damage soak against these galleons.
Yeah.
'Cause you have to focus fire everything at that point. But the Hussar are just being here, to be honest. Like, they're just so irritating because, like, you as Zain here, you have to delete this TC so you can place stone walls here, and it's also still technically open on that left-hand side as well. But there is a
So
lot
good
of
that the
siege
Hussar are there in
rams.
time. That is a hell of a lot of siege rams, yeah. With the longboats behind, some pikemen's trying to get out as well. I don't know where Rayzor got the stone from. Oh, he has been mining a little bit of it up top. Still expanding his eco well. I think I see trebs. I can't tell if they're on the galleons or the castle.
I think they're on the castle.
They're on the castle, yeah.
I don't necessarily know that I like this castle from Rayzor, honestly. I would have deleted the
neither.
mining camp on the house on the left-hand side and placed it there. I
Yeah,
understand this castle. I don't like the castle, though.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, I think he's gonna lose it too.
Like, it's
that's
just a
lot
bit
of
too...
trebs
It's
from
just
Zain.
too aggressive when your opponent's got a defensive position like this. Whereas if
Yeah,
you place
agreed.
it a little bit further back towards the gold, it allows you to guarantee
Oh,
access to the gold and then
yeah.
still have a position where it forces the trebs to come forward.
Holy moly.
And there's a bit of a kumbaya moment with Zain sharing Rayzor's gold that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This one. Oh, this one down here.
Honestly,
Raiser's like,
if
dude,
someone just
please,
sends
this is
one
my
unit here.
gold.
The thing is, like,
I
Zayn
don't
really needs
understand.
it. Like, even though, yes, he does have
Mm.
the middle somewhat, it's not like he has a firm grip on it enough so that he can actually take the resources, but the pikemen
Yeah.
engaging on the galleons,
Oh, this
and
is
the
gonna be
pikemen actually
flattened
clean
boats.
everything here, technically.
Yeah. The Hussar, the bombard cannons. I mean, the Hussar are just gonna send themselves into the pikemen. But that's a really nice little effort from Zayn, who's now sending out the orbs as well.
I sort of would like to see, oh, it's hard to say, but I want to see some cannon galleons. I don't care if it's the right move or not.
Oh,
But some cannon galleons
fair
can be
enough, fair
amazing.
enough.
Because
Alright,
you
so
can
some
clean
bombard cannon
buildings
hits
with
on the
them,
orbs.
and you can clean
Ah.
trebs with them as well.
Oh,
Although, Hussar doing the work here a little bit.
yeah.
And the arms actually hopped into the rams to try and keep them alive. I
Oh,
love that.
beautiful. Yeah, really nice move.
It ferry them away to safety. I mean, it didn't work too well because it's now down to 7 arbs. I think the play here for Zayn is Masked Berserk. If he can get to Masked Berserk, I think that...
Chieftains. Yeah. Yeah, and he's getting his infantry upgrades right now. He's getting conscription, he's getting plate mail armor. I think you may have called it. Well, let's hope that that's for Berserks, not just for the few pikemen that are on the field.
The safe option is probably Pikeman Longbows, but the fun option is definitely Berserks.
We always want the fun option. I love that he built a lumber camp in the middle. Oh, I just feel like this amount of longboats has just been here for so long.
It's so
And
hard to
now
clean
they're in
them
the
up,
numbers
isn't
that it's
it?
really dangerous. Yeah.
Like,
And his
maybe he could
resources are
even-
looking good.
But
Oh,
Rayzor's
so many
resources are also
docks.
looking really good as well. And he does
Yeah, just
have
not
the
as
large
balanced.
amount of gold at the moment.
Mm. Very similar village numbers still, but Zayn now having double the military, and I think Rayzor realizes that he needs to send what he does have back. But it's hard to send them back and still be out of range of the longboats.
Do you try and bait the longboats in and get a nasty demo shot off or something? Like, how do you play
In my
this?
dreams, yeah.
In your dreams, I love it. I think maybe you just try and get some more
PvC
bombard
coming up.
cannons out, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the longboats are coming in for the snipe, and it's just kind of
it's
awkward,
tricky.
to be honest.
Yeah. Oh god, one goes down, two goes down.
Oh, lots of longboats
Third
going
one
down,
goes
though,
down.
to the Hussar and the Galleons, but it is looking like a really good fight here for Zayn. This is kind of not where the Italians want this matchup to go.
Not at all, and I feel like Rayzor's really losing grip now. There's still 27 longboats and more coming because he's got 11 docks up top, Zayn has. Now Rayzor's down to 17 population. This has got to be an exhausting game.
Absolutely.
He has sent some Hussar down the bottom as well to take Zayn off the gold down south, but Zayn's just expanding his eco everywhere and anywhere that he can. So I feel like Vikings is just going to trump this in the late game like we did predict would be the case.
Do you reckon condos? Like, I mean, it's... Like, it seems a bit too late. Maybe some condos here. Because they will deal with the pikemen. They're not exactly good against the longboats, but you mix in some Hussar for a bit of that bulk, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I just don't think he has the eco for that now, and I kind of think Rayzor doesn't really have the eco for anything now that he's 7 on gold.
We see
And
the last-ditch
maybe
effort with his
losing them.
Cavalier being made. So this is going to be a final push to try and clean up these bloody longboats.
Yeah.
You kind
Yeah, I
of
think
have to
this
do
might be
this.
his final effort.
I do not think that the Cavalier are going to be able to get enough value here. I think this is going to be game over. There's no blast furnace
No,
here
I-
for Rayzor yet either, so it's not like once they're engaging, they're doing as much damage as possible.
And the longbows can just sit on top of each other, and you might think there's like, I don't know, 13 in there, but there's 33.
It's kind of gross,
It's
honestly, like the way that they can, like, most units can stack, but no unit can stack like
not like
longbows.
longbows. Yeah. And
Which
the
does
siege rams are
mean
just
that
kind
some
of
demos can
unstoppable.
have some fun though if you ever do manage to catch them off guard.
Oh, in my dreams. But I don't think we're going to see it in this game. Some Hussar are cleaning up the siege rams, which is a relief, but still, you look up here in the top on Capture Age, guys, and you can see that military-wise, it's completely in Zane's favor. It's really got a what's the phrase? It's impressive from Rayzor that he's kept his economy so stable through this game.
The only question I have though is, how is Zain gonna clean Rayzor's base? Like, yes, he has some siege rams, but most of his military is on water.
Yeah, I just think he very easily sends some villages forward. They're not even far away because he's expanded so much. Just places more siege workshops and just more siege rams and siege ram pike, and I think he's fine. Yeah, I think this is unstoppable now. It's gonna be really rough from Rayzor. Pretty disheartening at this point as well when you're 24 military and you see that amount of longboats and you see the siege rams and you're like, can't really stop any of that.
Can you try and go for like maybe a last ditch attempt at a push on the left? Like get a few skirms and clean up the pikes. Go for some cap ram and send the Hussar in. Like for one last ditch attempt, do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean he's got 31 Hussar on the field. I think that might be his plan. Like just try and mess them up. Just try and stall to get the numbers and then send them all forward. I mean there's no pikemen with the ships here at the moment, which is good for Rayzor.
That one, oh, there's more berserks coming now. The berserks are gonna be the game. Like, it's obviously, he's even got elite as well. They've got full upgrades.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the final nail in the coffin. Like you can
Look at
hold
the
the
longboats.
Hussar.
Stop. I can't.
A bit of a dance going on over there.
It's trippy. Okay, no, it stopped. I see the tech that I don't remember the name, the imp tech from Vikings. Or the
Berserker gang.
Thank you, that's the one. So here comes the infantry. Need a couple more pikemen here, I would say, but even with chieftain berserks, you're just gonna flatten the Hussar.
I hate even with 4 chieftains, it's just a little bit of a bonus against Hussar for chieftains. Although
I mean
not
that
if
is
you
a
feed
lot of
them in a little
Hussar.
bit.
Yeah, that's 52
53,
Hussar with
ooh.
8 more on the queue.
And Rayzor trying to get a bit of a surround if he can. I don't think it's gonna quite happen.
I don't know.
Actually,
again, it's just
that
a
was
lot
impressive
longer.
though.
Let's go.
Rayzor might have just bought himself some time to try and get back in the game. Like, I don't think he's winning this. But that is impressive.
Yeah. Beautiful surround. Siege ram will be picked off by the Hussar remaining. But yeah, okay, a lot of longboat losses. But here come the infantry, the berserks, and he does have 4 castles that he can produce them from. Fully upgraded. Has control of some gold still. He has Rayzor's second gold. Breaks my heart.
It's quite unfortunate. I don't think that necessarily was game ending based on the rest of the events that happened. It's just a little bit of an insult to injury.
Yeah, adds insult to injury for sure. Oh, the KD 442 to 541 in Zane's favor.
And Zain winning Outback Legends. Wow.
Shit, I was
What
behind.
a game 5.
There it is. Okay, I was a little bit behind.
Oh,
Apologies,
sorry.
but holy moly. No,
lost
not
all
at all. I mean, I think at this point, we can see that. Holy moly. Congratulations to both players. Zain took it 4-1. I actually think a lot of people, when I asked at the start of the stream, they predicted that perhaps. I just want to interrupt us both for a quick second to say a big thanks, Misty, for the raid. Hope you had an amazing stream. Welcome everybody. We have just finished casting this best of 7. This is Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. You may have played it when you were a kid, Age of Empires. Maybe you're familiar with the name. Maybe you got the disc in a Kellogg's cereal box like the rest of us. But the game is still alive and absolutely thriving. So this was a beautiful best of 7 by 2 Aussies, both Sydney boys. And Zain proving to be the stronger player today. He played absolutely on point.
I can't disagree with that at all. You can see those 4 relics really bringing that extra resources. The KD being so far in favor of him, and the longbows just being absolutely dominant. It's one of those situations that, like, longbows is just one of those units. Once they get massed, like, it's very hard to clean them up. So I think Rayzor really showed us how well he can play under those conditions.
Yeah, I feel like this was his best game.
Yeah, I absolutely would agree.
I think he played this really, really well,
Oh,
and
actually,
it.
game 2. Oh, he did play that
I,
really
I
well.
still, I yeah, he played that
Hmm.
one really well, but I still think this one is where he shined.
Yeah, definitely.
Shined. Um, because especially being down 3-1 as well, there's a impact on the confidence at that point, knowing that if he loses, then he's out and Zain takes the win. But he was so resilient and had so many more moments in this game. Granted, it was a longer game, yes. But I think he did some really, really nice stuff. So
Absolutely.
congratulations to both players. Zain taking out the gold medal of Outback Legends, being crowned the Omega Legend. And
I'm
Rayzor taking
seriously
the fairy
impressed with
home.
him. Like,
Yeah.
he can be very happy with that. He lost 2 games in the main event this entire time.
Wow. Is that including this loss here?
Yeah, this is including this loss here.
Whoa.
Like, that's seriously impressive. I don't remember qualifiers if he lost any games or many games there, but Zain absolutely dominating performance throughout this entire tournament.
Do we want to interview Zain if he's free?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
he's already here.
aha.
Zain, congratulations.
Thank
Nicely
you.
done.
GG.
First things
Good
first,
fun.
what was running through your mind in game 1? Like, were you nervous? How were you feeling?
Um, it felt I felt like I had the save advantage, so just had to play it right. And luckily, I had a clean game, well, clean set, except for game 2, or the Mudflow game. That was a bit of a blooper, but it's alright.
A blooper. We love a blooper every now and then, right?
I was
Yeah.
really surprised by your Civ draft, I have to say.
Really?
Same. Yeah.
Why?
So,
don't
okay,
know.
number 1 is, like, where does
Yeah.
humans fit into this? Because I was thinking maybe it's a surprise bypass pick.
It was. I practiced a few builds with Keymon's on bypass, and it felt pretty good. And that's where I was planning to play it. But yeah.
I love it, though. Like, it was just like... So, Rayzor, obviously, Chinese for
Mudflow.
Mudflow, Britons for Quarry, Burgundians for LOLs, Lithuanians for those kind of water maps, Malians for the water maps. So it seemed like he had a very clear kind of meta strategy here, but your picks were a
Yep.
little bit more out there, I'll say. Like Saracens, I was like, wow, okay, he's going for it.
Yeah, I think he took Burgundians super early to stop me from playing Burgundians because I played that against Alex and it was pretty good. But I already had prepared Saracens in case I didn't get Burgundians, which worked out, so I'm happy.
And be happy to give away Chinese.
I was expecting him to play Chinese on Arabia, which was like if I had Aztecs with Chinese, would have been okay. I didn't think of Mudflow then, but yeah, looking back, it was probably a mistake. Yeah.
What was with the Malay ban, actually, I have to ask? I was surprised. Is that like a bypass ban, or...?
Yeah, it was for bypass. I think Rayzor likes playing Malay a lot on hideout and bypass, and that's the one save that I'm not sure about how humans would play against, so
Yeah.
that's why I banned Malay.
We were also curious about you picking Indians instead of Khmer in game question.
Well, I already had Khmer, but I was like, if I take Indians, I would like he wouldn't have it for Mudflow, but he had Chinese, which I didn't think of. So
Yeah.
it was yeah. So I either had Khmer or Indians for Mudflow.
Which was your favorite game to play, Zain?
I think the last cup game was probably the hardest one because it felt like I was behind early game after I couldn't get much damage done with my early aggression. But Vikings is still pretty good, so just went for a faster shim play and dragged it out to like super late.
Those longboats, man. You actually managed to get both of your unique units fully upgraded. There's not something you usually see as Vikings.
Yeah, like as I clicked Elite Berserks, I was like, maybe this will come back to bite me. It's a big gold investment, and I was about to cancel it, but it already went through, and I was like, no. And
I
then
love the
there was that,
last minute to cancel.
yeah, and there was that awkward moment where I had like heaps of warrior units, but I couldn't finish the game. So yeah.
Like, it's almost like we were saying that Rayzor got an amazing surround with his Hussar. I was not expecting a Hussar to do that well, but it almost did you a bit of a favor getting you that pop space for the land military.
Yeah. I mean, I think at that point it's really hard for me to lose the game from then, but yeah.
Does anyone from chat have any questions they'd like to ask Zain? Or the trouble, do you have any remarks or questions?
I have a remark from flawless_J. Can I kiss Zain?
Not in public.
And Jordan
no.
wants to know what. Yeah, not in public. Okay, there we go. Jordan wants to know what you're going to spend the money on.
I haven't really thought about it yet. But I wasn't really expecting to win, to be honest. But
yeah, I was curious as to the mentality that you went into this grand final with, like in terms of confidence, in terms of preparation. How are you feeling?
I was pretty confident because leading up to the finals, I played Shed and Alex, and I kind of won those series convincingly. So I was confident, but I knew this series was going to be hard against Rayzor, especially since he beat Flight 3-1 as well, which is pretty convincing. So yeah, those are a good set of games as well.
Because he wants to upgrade his Oz Open team to replace Jordan with you, saying you'll be over the elo limit. Sorry, it's not possible. Get wrecked.
Just the shade to Desi. Oh.
No, it's a Jordan.
Oh, to Jordan.
Oh, as admin, you'll make it happen. Okay. Now, Chupta wants to know what's your idea of a perfect summer day, but I'm not gonna keep you with silly questions. And Chupta, you can't ask that. We're in winter now. Okay, ask again in summer. Now you will be playing. Sorry.
The next 1v1 tournament is gonna be summer, I think.
Yes, exactly. So you'll have to win that one again, so then we can have a post-win interview, and Chupta can turn up and ask you again.
Well, I'm just gonna retire now, right? So I'm just unbeatable.
Oh,
like,
yeah, true, of course.
1v1 player, so.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You are the legend of the Outback, confirmed.
Are you excited for Oz Open? Are you playing in it?
I am playing in it, yes. I'm teaming with Homer and Smudge, I believe. I think Smudge is streaming as well right now. But yeah,
yes,
that should be fun as
him
well.
and Hammer Time, I think. Yeah. Jordan says they're not going to let you retire, and I have to agree because you played exceptionally well today. And actually, well, I haven't seen you play it too much before, Zain. Confession, I haven't. But having seen you play those games just now, you are a beast of a player, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you and your team in Aussie Open. Hopefully, Shadow and Salted and I don't have to play your team.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Look, Zain, if we have to play you, just don't play like you did today, okay? Just take it easy, okay? Don't fully upgrade your units. Just forget about a palisade or two. Just, please.
Yeah, I'll try.
Thank you. That's all.
Yeah, I also wanted to say thanks to Daisy and Shark. Like, they've done really good work running the tournament and hosting it. So good shout out to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, massive shout out. Alrighty, well, go enjoy your celebration sleep.
Alright, see ya. Bye.
Thanks so much, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Shadow, GG.
That was
Thanks
an
for
amazing
casting.
set to cast.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
so
so
happy
happy we
with
casted together. Yeah, seriously, I love casting with you, and I just really grateful that you asked me. Thank you. I think I was going to ask you anyway if you didn't ask me. So we were just destined to co-cast this together. Oh, bless.
Are you staying on or are you going to bed?
I'm going to go to bed.
Same. So, all right. I'll see you later. Thanks so much for co-casting with me. And I can't wait to play an Oz Open with you.
Yeah, let's go. We gonna clap. Hello and goodbye to everyone on Shadow's channel. Make sure to subscribe to him. He's amazing.
And likewise from my channel.
Worth it all.
See you later.
See you, Shadow.